Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Warp Speed was a 20-year project. It didn't just come out of fucking thin air because of the Wuhan lab.
Acute medical whatever attention. Lately though, I haven't. And what I noticed, because I haven't had that experience in healthcare, because again, I predominantly throughout my life have been healthy, I've realized that doctors, they're not necessarily these genies that you rub to get answers, and they have answers to everything. They're they might be just as clueless as a normal fucking person. Sometimes ChatGPT will feel like they solve more of your problems than a doctor. People are not they're not as good at detecting your issues as you think. And you see so many videos of people that have cancer. That's not an MRI. Because I think this is more a tissue nerve problem and not just a alignment thing. But they don't give a fuck about that. So they prescribe you muscle relaxers. And I'm like, why the fuck would I take a muscle relaxer? You know what I'm saying? Because what if this is something I don't know. I don't think they should blindly trust doctors with vaccines, medication, and just whatever. Always advocate for yourself. So in that sense, I agree with you. But being totally against something is also
Well, do you prefer Pepsi or do you prefer Dr. Pepper? Or do you prefer, Fanta? Because at the end of the day, it was a mass carcinogenic event pre-programmed by Pfizer, Moderna, J&J. This was a 20-year patent created during the Bush administration. And if you like drinking Dr. Pepper, well, you might also like drinking Coca-Cola. Whether you got Pfizer or whether you got Moderna or whether you got J&J, you got the same supposedly patented vaccine. You got a problem just talking over people, Jarl. You don't have ears, you only have lips. So go ahead, Dr. Jarl. Please proceed, Dr. Jarl. Okay, yeah, we'll just keep talking. I'm just we're both fucking retarded. I got no problem talking while you're talking. Okay, great. All I'm trying to say is whether you took Pfizer, Moderna, JJ, it's no different than drinking Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, or fucking, Pepsi. The point is, it is the biggest scam in human history because the U.S. government spent $10 trillion during the COVID-19 vaccine era. Hello? $2 trillion a year they spend that we don't take in. And over 4 years of COVID-19 bullshit, that's $8 trillion a year of scamming. Hello? I'm just saying, so many people got sour grapes from taking a totally unnecessary medical intervention of sticking yourself with a poison called mRNA genetic modified spike protein.
Stick myself with anything. I didn't take a COVID vaccine because I had a bad feeling about it, and honestly, I'm fine. So that's that.
The whole world doesn't revolve around you. Millions of people injected themselves because they were fooled and hypnotized, and then they died. Yes, millions of people died. And in Sweden, where they didn't even take the COVID-19 vaccine, no one died because nobody took the vaccine because they actually didn't mandate it. Hello? It's true. You can Google it. Look it up. Look at the death rate in Sweden compared to other European countries in the United States. Hello? Yeah, give him the thumbs up. You just stuck it up his butthole. Hello?
I'm literally from Sweden. What the fuck are you talking about? People were dying during COVID in Sweden. It was a problem.
Sweden? Keep going, by the way, sir.
Well, you said what? Sweden what?
Sweden. You guys are our new best friends now. You guys support comedians with jabs and a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, we're good friends.
Yeah, Sweden is an amazing country, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I really consider just leaving fuck America and moving back because honestly.
Well, where did you grow up?
In Stockholm.
You did? It sounds like you have an American accent.
Oh, well, I mean, I lived here for 7 years. I also just know how to speak English. I don't know, I've always see, that's why, when I had, the discussion with you before, how I, have to, Google words and stuff, I feel like you catch that I'm an immigrant in that way. Because, surface level, I don't have an accent, just like you said. I don't really sound like I'm from here. My communication communication skills in that. Like I'm socially competent in that way, and I've definitely assimilated into like the American culture. Like when I had like more like in-depth conversations about like politics and stuff, it's like certain words, it's like I don't know, whatever. That is kind of how you like cash me, something or whatever you want to call it. Not that I'm trying to hide them from there, but that's usually like the first thing where like people can like where people realize that I'm not American. But yeah, no, like America's an amazing country financially, like you can make a lot of money here and stuff, but I mean life quality isn't amazing here. And I feel like I've never been as sick in my life as I've been since I moved to this country. Like I feel like I'm chronically sick like constantly. In Sweden, like I was never sick, I never had any issues, I never had any problems. Like the worst issue I ever had in my life was like my wisdom teeth.
Low IQ, white trash, stupid person money right now. I'll send you $1. Right? I will. We can cash up for chance. It won't be life changing. It's asking for cash up. Maybe you ask me.
It was an honor to do that. Who did not take the shots. And I'm thinking of this one immediate family, siblings, and father, and they all were, normal, healthy adults, and they all developed all this one immediate family, like very strange, different autoimmune conditions in short order after the shots. And they saw their own doctors, and they were totally bought in, and like, Democrat types and whatever, and like even the types that were, some of them, not all of them, but some of them were like, hey, maybe we don't want you around this year if you haven't gotten the shots, like those kind of people who are so bought in. And like they all developed these like different autoimmune related maladies. And they went to their own doctors, again, who are the doctors who were pushing the vaccines. And their doctors said, like, this seems extremely likely that this is directly due to the vaccines. So take that for what you will. There's, a trillion other anecdotes like that. And then just the most simple, distilled, powerful anecdote of the fact that there are many people who took those shots who do regret taking those shots. There is absolutely no person on earth.
I mean, I'm not saying these people didn't get things from the vaccine, but my understanding is when people do develop, like that case that you just described, when a whole family got sick after the vaccine, sounds like something that pretty much all scientists and doctors who work in the field would be like jumping to study, right? And so I find it hard to believe their doctors wouldn't have just told them, oh, it's because of the vaccine. Like, I mean, maybe some doctors would say
But I
that.
feel like, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, but after everything that's gone down with Epstein, I feel like we've come to the conclusion that people do get silenced, that they will overlook things, because when the truth gets out, it will like create this chaos that they won't have control over, and for us to keep abiding to the government and trusting them, they can't make those mistakes. Like, you have to understand something, like, if that came out, like, if there was, like, proof that this vaccine was, like, all, like, a shit show and, like, this whole thing, people would never trust the government ever again. Every single time something new would come, or every single time something would happen, and, like, the government would, like, give us directions on, like, what to do next, or, like, no one would, like, we would, like, the government would lose its trust, and it would just be, like, a fucking problem. That is why, like, sometimes what people don't understand is, like, the reason why information is being withheld from the public is because of that reason. It will create chaos. Like, certain things, it's just better to not know than to know. So which is, like, it's like a double-edged sword, like, knowing too much and not knowing things at all. Sometimes, I'm honestly gonna tell you guys, I'm, like, happy I don't know a lot of things. When you know too much is when you get anxiety, and that's like already like an issue that I have in my life where I'm like so hyper aware of everything, and I just like really understand things for what the fuck they are. And when you realize and know things for what they are, it gives you anxiety. So I would rather not know rather just be like, sometimes when I look at these people that are like IQ like 78, they like barely know how to like talk, and they're just like in this little like perfection of bubble of whatever, like, you know, they're just like clueless. It's like, I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you really just like, you're like unaware. Like sometimes being unaware is the most amazing thing, even though that comes with a lot of problems too. But again, information is being withheld from us because of a lot of reasons, and that's one of them. After all these people that took the vaccine and then coming out saying some shit like that, you think people would take that lightly and not like literally spiral and like fucking like a revolution would come and people would like literally go with torches and fucking whatever to the White House to like kill people that work there? Like, I don't know. I think we'll just create more chaos.
But not just like it's a global vaccine. It's not just American. So like when you're saying it happened in the whole world,
global scale, exactly. So then every government would like I don't know, the Western world would have like fallen in a way. Maybe not now if it came out. I feel like if it came out now, it would be easier to like maneuver, but like then and there, like it would have like complete chaos. They already shut everyone down and forced them to stay inside. Like imagine if like that information came out when that was happening, people would like go out on the streets and like burn things. Like it would be insane.
so some of the reported side effects on open bears, if you guys are familiar, include animal bites, include alcoholism, and anal sex. Those are genuine side effects that have been reported by doctors from the COVID vaccine. And I'm not saying those things aren't real. In a way, they might be. But all of those numbers, you can look them up, Callie, you know, all of those numbers occur less in vaccinated people, right, than in the normal population. So that's how they calculate if something needs to be looked into. They use open bears. And one example is like heart attacks. Myocarditis, I think, showed up a little bit higher in the COVID vaccine than in the average population. Got flagged in a system like that. They were able to spot it. Heart attacks, which is more common in people who are not vaccinated, never got flagged. So it's just, yeah, I hope that, I don't know, I'll give you guys a bit of it. For Alistair would be telling me why it makes sense that animal bites and anal sex are side effects.
Sorry, I'm making a late supper. What is the source that you just quoted?
It's the source that actors quote all the time. It's like a legit source for medical information. It's where they track all the side effects from, I believe, COVID vaccines and other vaccines.
What is the name of the site?
VAERS. I'll link it.
Oh, thanks.
Arrived at the conclusion of animal bites and anal sex conversation.
Oh yeah, did you hear the siren call for you when we started talking about the good stuff?
Well, I felt the spirit in my body that called me to come into this room, but I think it was a little tardy. I didn't hear my name.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys want to talk about the plans for the invasion of Canada?
What?
Oh, fuck. Charles in here. Oh, we weren't supposed
I don't know that it much matter if it gets announced.
Supposed to be having trade talks, and apparently that's not going so well. So.
Oh, do we trade with Canada?
I don't know. I don't know why you put tariffs on us.
But you know, we do get maple syrup from you guys. It's delicious too. Don't change it.
Actually, a lot of like over-the-counter pharmaceuticals are made in Canada.
Well, the tariffs that apparently are making Canadians angry are steel, auto, lumber. So you must buy those three. I don't think Carney's trying to negotiate. I think he's intentionally delaying it at this point. So we'll see you guys in 6 months, a year.
I understand you guys have a new girlfriend, and she's Chinese.
He's treating us, basically.
New girl? Oh, I thought you meant literally like Katy Perry dating Justin Trudeau. And them going to Coachella together, and how the internet flipped out because they were using single-use plastic cups in their like hotel room or whatever, and eating pizza, and he banned single-use plastic cups when he was reigning in Canada.
He only banned straw. You're right. I mean, no, we still have single-use cups at every restaurant.
Which Coachella weekend did they go to? Do we know? Did they go see Bieber?
These our leaders are like young enough when they get elected that they can still do stuff after. Like they don't just die after they're like president.
I mean, there are a decent amount of former American presidents that are still in there. Not like anyone cares. I will commend it to, even though he's one of the most evil men who's ever lived in modern history, I will say. I will commend George W. Bush in the sense that he's pretty much stayed out of public life.
No, wait. Him, Obama, all the past presidents should be speaking up right now. What are they doing? What the hell is this? I'm shocked. Like, I get from your perspective, good for him, but from everybody else's perspective, why aren't previous presidents talking about how absurd this president is?
It's traditionally seen as being done in bad taste.
That, and it's the same reason why Trump wants to be buddies with Ghani while he's in power. Like, you don't want to burn a bridge because you still want to be able to make one call and get Trump directly on the phone if you need to make a suggestion to him or get a favor from him. You don't want him to be your enemy. Nothing to gain from that.
You guys are not Democrats, so it's pointless saying this, but I feel like Democrats need to wake the fuck up. Like, they're not doing anything. The previous president, somebody just moved away from them. They have no one who's like, there was the governor of California for a bit, but it just feels like Democrats are doing nothing.
What about Ossoff? He seems like he's auditioning to be president more and more on television, and he's young and speaks well and seems like he has like a centrist message. I think if they pick someone like that, they'd have a good chance.
Jarl, have you ever had a job where you were promoted into the next level of that role? You know?
Yes. Go on.
And when And when you were promoted, did you go into that role and then criticize the predecessor that was in that role for the shitty job, like the mess that you inherited?
No, but my predecessors never threatened to.
Well, then you've been working at the wrong place, but it's just like it's in bad taste to have been in that position.
The prosecution.
Well, actually, it's reversed. What I meant to say is that that person who left that role would be criticizing your filling in that role and the work that you were doing. It's not a good look. So I don't know that it's like an American president thing. I think it's just sort of universal.
You're right. I don't think Trump is presidential to begin with. I don't think he was. He's not going to hold back. I don't think he did hold back last time around. Literally all he does is criticize the last president.
No, that's fair. He's certainly unique in his behavior. So we can all be honest about that. He's not exactly a role model for professionalism.
Prosecution. He's not going to get that man
I suspect the
today
next president's going to get an easy win, but not.
because I'm going to get him.
Just be like professional. It's going to be whoever's professional the next election is going to win, I think, because people are going to be tired of it.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, I don't know that they'll win, but
The prosecution.
who's next?
He's not going to get that man today
Oh, yeah.
because I'm going to get him. My client.
Just kidding. That might not change much.
Oh, are you thinking like Barron?
Honestly, what's the other one? Isn't it Eric Trump the one or Jared? I don't know which one people think. President, I'm calling on those ones. It's like the place I think that it's taking out to down.
Doug Jr.
Stevenson.
or Eric.
Stevenson.
Never.
CMZ. You're kind of famous on the hill for your cigars, my friend.
Barron, I would vote for
Good
Barron.
cigar. Is it a good cigar?
Ivanka.
I always see you walking around with cigars. How many do you get through?
The family out of Connecticut.
Ivanka.
Yeah, Ivanka's the daughter.
She's far and away a better presidential candidate than anyone else.
I don't know. She's sort of like more like demure. She doesn't really like get involved in politics.
I agree, but she's got a great rack.
Yeah, she's very good looking. She certainly looks like she's younger too, but and she's never like Eric and Don Jr. are always into political stuff. Like she never is. Well, what was just incredible was during Trump's first term, there was such a strong media campaign to try to get Ivanka to publicly disparage her father while he was in office. It was so ever present.
Yeah.
And they seemed to think that they could get her to do it because she was sort of straddling these two worlds where she's sort of like, like a New York socialite. And she's also like had that clothing brand which she had to give up because all these department stores dropped the brand once her father took over. Because, for seemingly political reasons. And so they really, every other day there would be some mainstream media article or news piece talking about, Trump is bad for women and, this would be the perfect opportunity for Ivanka to disavow her father on behalf of her, supporting women or whatever. And it really seemed like she was going to do it at some point, but she just, didn't even go to bat with those people. She just kept her head down and didn't get involved in the political or media sphere. You know, her husband certainly was, but he was never like part of that like daily dog and pony show of it. And he just worked, and she just like kept her head down. It was like very classy.
Yeah, she's no amateur, that's for sure. And she was close with Chelsea Clinton.
The prosecution.
Speaking, obviously, because of her father's behavior.
I mean, the Clintons went to. I think they went to his wedding with Melania.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if
He's not going to get that man today. No,
Chelsea's right.
because I'm going to.
I have to imagine so. Because she married a Jew also.
Excuse me, sir.
The prosecution. The prosecution. The prosecution is.
For some reason, I thought my passport expired this summer, and I went to pull it out the other day, and I saw my passport expired in February. Which means
shit.
like.
So you have to go through the process.
No, because I guess it's the same process if it's like. If it's expired less than 6 months ago, so I don't actually go through any other thing. I just have to send it in and send a form in through the mail. But
Yeah,
it's just annoying.
totally.
And this time I think I'm gonna get. And for some reason I can't do it online because this time I want to get the passport card in addition to the actual passport book, which is like for that reason I can't do it online. So I have to. It's just annoying. Whatever.
And what does the passport card give you?
So
Be on the book.
the card, I chose not to get the state real ID. You know, there's a big push for that for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And so technically, like, you either can't fly with my ID, or you can, but you have to pay some extra fee at the gate, like as a punishment mitigation.
Yeah, it's
And
$40 fee though. I do the same thing.
So anyway, the passport card allows you to cross at land crossings between the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and like the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
You can't fly with it overseas. You still have to bring your actual passport for that. But the passport card, you can cross with it at border crossings. It's different than what they call enhanced license that some border states give out. Because it's not a state ID, it's a federal ID. But because it's a federal ID that's like associated with your passport, that's acceptable to fly. Enhanced ID has to be renewed like every. I don't know if it's every 3 years or whatever. You have to get a new license, whatever it is in your state, and it's like an additional fee above a normal license that you have to pay every time. Whereas passport card is just like a $30 fee, and you're getting a passport anyway, and it's good for 10 years.
The prosecution
So I'll just.
is not going to get that man today.
Border, and I put one over.
Because I'm going to get
Passport card. And like when that new bridge opens, I'll be able to bicycle over the bridge in Canada. Walk a bicycle across the new bridge. It's fare free. You don't have to pay anything, which is super nice. But you will have to have some, accept.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm hearing through some of the words that you're using that even intentionally avoided a real ID, probably for the same reason I have, which is I know how poorly the federal government or even the state government will handle that data. So if I can be the last person on earth to comply, I'd like to do so. And like, it's essentially
it's like, look,
to my advantage.
Like, if people make an argument, oh, well, like, they track you anyway, oh, you have a smartphone on you that tracks everything you do, it's like, yes, of course, but, like, I don't need to make it any easier for any of them
Right.
to, like, have all of my, like, data points that paint the picture of my entire waking life, you know, in one convenient place. But I should at least, like, want as many layers of abstraction between all those data points as possible.
Totally. I want to skip the first 3 to 4 digits and really be included into the 5th data breach when, you know, a foreign government is making a concerted effort to really build something. So, yeah, I don't want to be part of the test data. I just want to be in the 5-star data breach.
Jarl, are we going to go on a little bicycle date when the new bridge opens? From what I heard from people who are like insiders in it, is that like the date is just being nailed down now and waiting for it to be announced because it's like done, and like even though Trump has been like sort of beating his chest, like threatening to delay it, it's not going to be delayed, and they're just deciding the date.
I wouldn't think it's actually going to be delayed, right? But that's cool. I didn't know you lived so close to the Canadian.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute drive from where I live, so I could either like put my bicycle on a bus and then take the bus to go downtown and then bike from there, or I could just like drive and take my bike downtown. If I really wanted to, I could probably actually in less than an hour, like do the whole like that. You know, I'm not like right to it, but I'm not far from it either. I could like.
Where does it cross over onto in Windsor? Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the downtown Detroit and downtown Windsor are like directly across the river from each other. It's like sort of like twin cities. Although of course Detroit's much larger, but it's the distance is only like
He's not gonna get that man today. No. Because I'm gonna get my client.
but it's like a cute little town. There is some stuff to do. I go there once in a while to buy eye drops that I can't get here. And then there's like a bunch of bars and things. There's one bar there that I go to. It's okay. I'd rather live across the water from Toronto, but, you know, Windsor's okay. But usually it's like way more people from Windsor that come to Detroit for entertainment than people from Detroit going to Windsor. Unless you're a 19-year-old kid, because then you could drink in Windsor when you're 19. And of course you have to be 21 in the US.
Does Windsor have really good pizza? I mean, I know Detroit's got a pizza reputation, but I feel like Windsor's got some like crazy reputation for good pizza.
Oh, I didn't.
There are a lot of good ethnic restaurants there.
This is random, but do Americans have shish kebab and shawarma like at every like is that as common as McDonald's in America, or is that a uniquely Canadian?
Sounds like unique, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of shawarma in Detroit because there's a big Arab population. Shish, I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I've grown up always assuming that was the same in the U.S., but no, in Canada you find shish kebab and shawarma, which look the same thing pretty much everywhere. Main food is like the official food of Ottawa is the shawarma.
Prosecution is not gonna get that man today. No. Because I'm gonna get him. My client.
Yarrow, what's a unique food where you live? Like specific to where you live in Canada.
Well, the most like culturally specific food to where I live is Canada soup, which I guess in English is sugar shack, which is a meal that we have where maple syrup is made, which usually involves like omelets, like pig ears, or what's it called? I don't know what it's called in English. Beans, like pickled onions, lots of breakfast type stuff, and then you just drizzle like maple syrup all over that ham as well. That's the cultural food of my people.
Interesting. So you drizzle maple syrup over pig ears.
I don't know. I think the pig ears. I don't think they're really pig ears. I've never made them, so I don't actually know what it is. Let me Google.
But it's part of the pig,
everything, right?
Is it like pork rinds? Pork rinds. Like
yes, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, that's bad translation.
Jar, what's your ethnic background?
Just Canadian, and yeah, that's as far as I know. And then from France.
Mm-hmm. So you're like
Prosecution!
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
No, because I thought Jarrell was black when I first met him.
But that is always, I don't know why.
wait, you guys have met each other?
No, he stood me up. I invited him to go out for drinks, and he just didn't show up.
Was this in Quebec?
No, he's the last one. No, we have one brand. It's actually a Swiss brand that the company got into some dispute with the FDA, so they stopped
The
selling.
Chicago mayor's race, it is 10 months away, but the money race for the candidates, it is already heating up. Alexi Giannoulias has more than $18 million. Number two
claims
in
that
the money race is Suzanne Mendoza with $1.6 million.
voluntarily withdrew.
And then number three, the current mayor, Brandon Johnson, just over 800.
Hello, young friends. I hope
It's
you've
hard to
seen
even
my
in Canada
video.
I think Americans go over just to buy these eye drops. So like I seriously spent a whole day there, like drove from store to store to store. I was gonna buy like 20 of them, and I could only find 3 after going to 7 stores, 3 boxes of them. It's called like Simulsian. It's like Similisa or something. It's a Swiss brand.
Okay. Because I used to use one that was like spicy, that was spicy one.
Yeah.
Alternatives.
Yes.
And there was one I used to use that the brand no longer exists, but if you look up like alternatives, there are some. So I just use ChatGPT. I forget what they are.
Well,
James, we need to talk about it.
It's a one. It has no constrictors, which means it doesn't constrict the blood vessels in the eye. It's just like really good homeopathic moisturizers. So you can use it as much as you want with no adverse effects.
Okay.
And it feels like putting like drop of like wet silk on your eye. It's so nice. If you like went to, they should have them at any pharmacy in Canada. If you went to the pharmacy in Canada and like made some deal with me where you sent them to me, I would certainly pay for them and also like pay for your time in some way to do that errand.
But I don't know if that's legal. I don't think that's not.
It's legal. No, there's no. It is legal because it's not a prescription drug. It's over the counter. They're not illegal in the U.S. They're just not currently sold per the company deciding to bail out. It's not illegal. I even like when I go there, I tell the border agent on both sides, I'm here to buy over the counter eye drops.
It's one of the few times where homeopathic medicine actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, just because it's not like, I'm assuming it's not that important if it's just for red eyes. And yeah, I think my thing's not that good.
What is it?
Some cards.
Okay, I need my phone back.
Although double check that it's also dangerous.
So this
True
none of
advice,
this.
no lie. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Or I was saying I heard if you drink Visine, you'll die. So yeah, but that's it.
Unless it's prescription, I've never put anything in my eyes. So you're saying that this is something that you put in your eyes just to lubricate the eye?
Yeah, it's like I used it during the winter when it's super dry. It's just it's not good to let your eyes get super dry, like when there's no moisture in the air. It's really, really not good for your vision long term to let your eyes be that dry.
Interesting.
You use it after smoking to clear red eyes. I thought that might do it.
I wish. I had to give up cannabis like over 5 years ago at this point. And I had an excellent 20-year fling with
Joyce, did you say you had to give it up? Or you just...
I did. I developed a horrible allergy to it where I would get like violently ill from it.
Damn.
And seemingly out of nowhere, and it's like this growing condition which is called cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome, and it creates these, it's like week-long bouts of violent illness, and no one like really knows what brings it on except cannabis usage. And usually the pattern is like you'll have one of these bouts of violent illness, which will last a whole week where you can't keep anything down, including water. So most people will get so dehydrated they have to go to the hospital just for fluids. And then after the week, you'll be better, and then you can go back to cannabis, and like it usually won't reoccur for about 6 weeks, but like when it does, there's no warning, and it'll be again a week of violent illness, and it's this like growing syndrome that people don't know what exactly brings it on in particular, except that it is cannabis somehow. But they don't know if it's a certain strain, or like maybe it's the way that certain plants of cannabis are bred, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's like because like the plants are not really natural anymore. They're like specifically bred and
cities to terrify
like have high rates of THC versus other natural cannabinoid properties that would be in the plant on its own if they were just naturally occurring. Maybe it's that. No one really knows. But what people do know is that the only way to completely avoid this is like 100% cannabis abstinence. So until like they figure out what it is, like I can't use it.
And this is not even just the weed. This is in all forms, all delivery systems.
Yes.
Wow, I've never heard of it. It's amazing.
The telltale sign that it's this and not something else, because a lot of people, like myself, the first time it happened, confuse it with like food poisoning, is that when you're in one of these bouts, you'll feel this strong urge to take like a hot shower or a hot bath. It's like it's the only thing in the moment that gives you any temporary feeling of relief. Is like, so you'll hear of these people who are in one of these bouts of this illness, and they'll take like an 8-hour-long shower. And like I remember, like a family member eventually came over and like take me to the hospital, and I remember she's there and she's like, "Come on, we're going again." And I was like, "Just let me take like one more." It's called CHS, or cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome.
And like, what is it? It comes
Correct. You know, have this misery.
and it gives you what, like muscle aches and stuff?
Like extreme nausea and lethargy and like pains in your stomach, and like you can't keep anything down. Like you'll be like, it's coming out of both ends, and like you can't even keep down water, and so you'll be vomiting.
That sounds insane. See, this is what I tell people, like, weed is not as good as we want it. It can destroy you. Like, I used to smoke weed a lot. When I was younger, like, I smoked weed basically every single day for, like, 7 years. Until I got, like, panic anxiety from it, and, like, really bad anxiety. I thought I was, like, gonna go crazy. I guess it's like, what do you call it, like derealization, or like what's that called? Because I don't know if I was like dissociating too much. I mean, like, I just thought that I was like going crazy, which I didn't end up doing because I'm here talking like a normal person now, not schizophrenic or anything. But I thought something was happening, so I think that with me, at least, weed triggered really bad panic anxiety. And honestly, ever since then, I've just been suffering with like anxiety that I have episodes in life where I get like really bad, and it's all after I like it's all from smoking weed. And I mean, I did other drugs too, but I don't know if they were the reason why I ended up with anxiety. Honestly, because I wasn't like.
How old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
I think everyone in your generation has anxiety, right?
Well, I mean, mine is like really bad. I have like literally like it's panic anxiety. Like I just took a hydroxyzine maybe like 30 minutes ago because I was thinking that this back pain is like something really, really alarming and like bad, and that I need to like figure it out because I'll probably die if I don't figure it out. And I was like, oh, time to take my Congressman. But I mean, also one of the first symptoms before it does hit the fan is anxiety. So I mean, you never really know, but yeah, my back is like I have like the worst back pain, but I also have anxiety. So I don't know. Maybe it's related. It's all nervous system things, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like rewire my brain to like de-escalating things more so than escalating them because I overthink a lot. But
I don't know if this is gonna help you, but I have 6 months of like debilitating back pain. I don't know what caused it, but I think it was due to like I had to sit for like 1 week in this very uncomfortable chair and position, and I think it caused like a sustained injury. I got all these X-rays. I was in pain 24 hours a day, such that like I would even wake up once every 40 minutes because like the back pain was so bad I couldn't sleep. And like I was again in pain 24 hours a day, every second of every day, and I got all these X-rays, like nothing, did all this. And eventually, like after about 6 months, it just went away on its own. So, like, I hope whatever you're going through just goes away on its own. Right?
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know, like, where it came from, what it stems from. It's like, I don't know if you know the names of, like, muscle groups, if you have that knowledge, but I was just today actually looking up. I feel like it's push my back up against, like, a corner of a wall or something. I just have all these trigger points everywhere. What's it called? And it's just, like, I don't know. It's making me freak out, like, a tiny bit, but, like you said, it's probably something that has more of like a common, like it's probably more of like a realistic, not so dangerous explanation behind why it's like the way it is. Because if it was really bad, I probably would like not be able to like sit there and talk and like be somewhat normal. And hydroxyzine wouldn't necessarily work either. But one thing I'll tell you, they did prescribe me ibuprofen 600 milligram, and honestly, it doesn't help at all. Like I'm in just as much pain as I was before I took it.
Yeah, hang in there. Will, were you trying to say something? I saw you come off. Did you just wake up eating? Welcome to the first anthem. Good morning. Yeah, fucking weird dreams too, man.
Do you want to talk about them?
There was no. It was just silly. There was like a post that was supposed to be my house, but then it was like my parents' house, and we met a lot of people. We walked also, and then I'm thinking there's too many people here. They're gonna start. I don't know if they're stealing shit, wrecking shit. And then this friend I've known years ago, she was making a bed, and there was like a big clock above there. There's actually 2 clocks above the bed, and plants. It's really just weird stuff.
Do you ever try to interpret your dreams?
I think that's largely nonsense. You know, I think the stuff is very obvious. You know, stuff you're worried about will pop up things, but like, you know, a milk carton means your mother. You know, that's not true.
Yeah, what are the tropes about that? There's like something about like you're missing teeth or your teeth falls out. It's supposed to mean something very specific.
I don't remember, but yes, and I think that's all bullshit.
I feel like it is too. Like just what my gut tells me about how I imagine the world to work.
I can remember usually when there's weird stuff like that. If I think back, I can remember something that like I thought about for a minute. Like
Mine, it's supposed, I think, like some sort of weird lack of control with the teeth thing, I think. I don't know for sure.
that's what they say, you know.
Who knows? Yeah.
With the lack of control. Yeah.
Lack of control. Like, if like your teeth are falling out because you're not able to crunch in and take in what's going on. Like, it's like how, for whatever reason, it makes sense that you can't take in information, so you're not processing what's going on, so you have no actual understanding. Or
When I have dreams, we've all had dreams like bathroom dreams, going to the bathroom. Usually I wake up and I have to go to the bathroom, and that's why I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh sure. Like yeah, the sensation of having to urinate in your dream. Yeah. I mean, I've never had one of the teeth falling out dreams. I've certainly had like trillions of dreams about I'm back in high school and I'm feeling some existential anxiety, and I think that is just related to like how much like I don't mean this to sound like in a trivial way, but like how much actual like trauma on some mental level you experience being in places like that. Not like anything particularly horrible happened to me, but just the feeling of being somewhere that you hate being for so many hours, so many days in a row.
And it's a pivotal time in your life. I mean, those years are you growing up, becoming an adult. It's like I always dream, or generally I dream about waiting tables, right? Which was like my first job, well, my second job. You know, I don't dream about the jobs after. It's always waiting tables, you know. It's like I don't think there's anything significant other than that was like one of the first jobs I had when I was really young. You know, the first time I had money in my pocket. You know, it's stressful too.
I fully agree. I had huge high school dream never goes away. Apparently,
I was in the dream. It's high school or college, and like exams are coming up, and I'm like, I haven't been to school all year. Like, and I think that's because like I lucid dream a lot too, and I think that the conscious part of my brain is like, well, I haven't been to school, so how am I taking tests? Like, I think that's what's actually going on. Or like I can't find my car in the parking lot. It's like I said, so I lucid dream a lot. Sometimes I'll really dream and I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to look for my car because it's just a dream.
It's so strange. There's like a few moments where like you wake up, you were clearly feeling some kind of big anxiety in the dream, and you wake up and you're like, oh, feeling the relief. Okay, that was just a dream, but like that feeling and anxiety doesn't immediately leave you. You intellectually know that it wasn't real. It's like it sort of lingers with you, and there's even a few moments where,
Or if it's a positive dream and then you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna go back. That was so cool. You know?
yeah, and I have had a few dreams like that, like where I had an awesome dream and I woke up in the middle of the night and I was sad that I had awoken, and then I was able to go right back to bed and like go back into the same dream.
Yeah, right. That, yeah. Or I dream about people who died in the dream. That usually triggers lucidity. In the dream, I'm like, wait a minute, they're dead. This is just a dream. I'm like,
Sorry. So
you're right.
I was writing something down.
Dream journal.
Yeah, I do a bit of that dream journal stuff.
I'm out of doing that because you have to like have a pen and paper right next to your bed, right? Because you're the way your brain works, like
Right. Well, it's hard. Think about it like so. You get up and everything is instant, and you're like fuck, and you grab it and it's dark, so you put the light, or you don't. You gotta grab something. It's all chaos. You know?
Yeah, okay, so that's the process of it, but what do you, like, what have you gotten out of it? Like, how has it enriched your life doing it?
Yeah, but is it like, yeah, my thing is like, when I was much younger, I used to do that, and again, it was just obvious stuff, like lack of control. Let's say you equate the falling out teeth to that. I was like, did I not know that in my waking life? Of course I knew that. So it's not telling me anything I didn't know. It's not uncovering the subconscious stuff that's only revealed in my dream. This is so, and like I said, usually the strangest things that seem so out of place, usually I can remember. It's not necessarily the day before, usually within the past few days, but it's something that I sort of fixated on for a minute that I thought was important for a minute, and that pops up in a dream.
I've never done a room. Like just sharing dreams. I thought about that recently. I remember doing it in college with a group of people every morning for breakfast.
Oh, that's cool. Do you remember any, like, particularly interesting dreams that were shared or that you shared?
Well, it's really weird that this came up because I was just cleaning some stuff, throwing things away earlier today, and I had this old journal, so I was ripping like things out of it, journal, and several of the entries were on dreams from 2021 and 2022 that I just happened to, I guess, write about them. Went through a phase then, and just like some of them are a little bit foreboding. The ones like in my history, not just those. Some of them are just plain occurrences. Like I had one where it said in my dream, I dreamed to check the hot water heater because there was an error code, and I went into the hot water heater room after I wrote that, or when I woke up, and the error code was there. So just like little psychic things. But I remember being in the group in college, when we would talk about them and things would come up. Like we were able to better understand what they meant by discussing them. But I didn't know if that ever had been done here on Clubhouse. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, we would have to plan it out, and we'd have to, like say, okay, it's going to be in 2 weeks, so make sure you have the pen and the paper next to your and every day for 2 weeks and write down your dreams so that that way people can have a repertoire to choose from. You know,
I would love to do that.
I would do it. I've always tried to get people to do a haiku room. People will
Oh my
participate
god,
in
what a
haikus.
great idea.
Are so easy to write.
Yes.
Like you can write them on the fly, you know. I also want people to do. I don't know how well it would work in Clubhouse, but I've always wanted a group of friends to play a karaoke game where somehow, as part of the game, the other people get to choose which song you have to do, and there's some competitive element to it where you have to try to sing it good. Even though the song is chosen for you, you don't choose it. It's not like you can just go up there and just purposely throw the song and make an ass of yourself because you're being flippant or whatever. Like you know, the song is chosen for you, and you have to try to sing it good anyway. But people are terrified of that idea. I don't know why.
That's an amazing idea. I love it so much.
Yeah, I like your ideas a lot better, but the dream thing maybe once a month could be fun. I would love to do haikus. That could be very calming.
We could write one right now. Everyone's gonna leave. Serendipity's like side-eyeing me right now.
No way,
She knows how many times I've
do it. Do it. Anyone do
All
it.
right, hands on mute for a minute. I'll write the haiku.
Derisive, are you a nippophile?
I don't know what that means.
A lover of Japanese things, Japanese culture.
No, not like some like nerdy, like horny, like straight men are. No, but I do like the Japanese food, but I'm not like into like hentai and anime and like Japanese goth shit and
Sure. I will not further disturb your haiku writing.
okay. I wrote a haiku about the energy that I want to convey about the people in this room not writing haikus. Existential dread. I will slap your face, my friend. Wake it the fuck up.
I love it.
That was perfect.
I'm not Asian, but that's pretty much probably gobble.
I think we're all a little more Asian after.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Okay, I wrote a haiku about Edie. Slept by a disabled man-child, so far from the truth.
Oh, that's so
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
It's just like limericks.
Limericks are fun. Yeah, limericks are fun. They take a little bit more effort in planning. A haiku is so great because it's like a single thought conveyed.
Yeah.
With like a floatiness. Yeah.
I want to practice them though. I can feel that it would be very relaxing to do those.
Is that 5 syllables and then 7 and then 5?
Correct.
Okay. Nope, too complicated. I can't do it. I already got the limerick.
Haikus can be fun. Sit down and give it a try. We won't laugh at you. Well, maybe we will laugh at you. What is the formula for the limerick? Maybe I'll do that.
It's dun 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 dun.
It's like 77557, something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, thanks. I used to do this all the time. Yeah, I had one about a dentist, something like I knew a dentist who loves to be paid. So they paid him. Take a drill and begin to fill. I can't remember the whole thing.
I of course only remember one limerick.
Yeah, of course, the man from Nantucket.
What's the last line I'm trying to? I know it's.
You take a green combination.
I know it's like if my something was a cunt, I would fuck it.
What was it? I think maybe I heard it slightly different.
I think
Ear. It's got to be ear.
Let me see. Let me pull up what the classic one is.
And you guys have been on here for this whole time. Like I left like maybe like a few hours ago, but you just say, oh.
Well, but here you are back again.
Had my walk, had my dinner. I'm gonna sleep soon, but yeah. It's nice hanging out with you guys. You guys are
Ear.
yeah, not to be too cliche or whatever, but yeah, I'll get going for now. See you guys.
Okay. I guess it's just a. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's the one I was thinking of. I guess it's called the 1927 reballed version. But it's basically there once was a man from Nantucket, and there's a trillion variations after that line. Except the common theme that they're all like what they call blue limericks, filthy limericks. So there's a million versions that all start with "There once was a man from Nantucket."
Yeah.
But here's the one that I was thinking of, which I guess is one of the classics. There once was a man from Nantucket whose dick was so long he could suck it. He said with a grin as he wiped off his chin, "If my ear were a contact."
Yeah, the last line was the only one. I can't remember. I think he was sitting chin with cum on his chin, something similar.
Sit with a grin with a cum up on his chin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know the rest. I'm sorry.
There once was a man from Nantucket who went down a well in a bucket. The last words he spoke before the rope broke were, "Arsehole, you bugger, and suck it." Thomas, which clubhouse rooms do you normally go in?
I have no idea. I'm all over the place. I find what's open, I guess, and hang out where I'm welcome.
You don't have any like regular rooms that you go in?
I mean, honestly, in here rarely, but I wouldn't say. I don't know. I'm everywhere.
Okay.
Do you see me in a lot of rooms? Or?
Well, so I hope to see you more.
I appreciate that, and you as well. I'm not writing a poem. Are we supposed to be writing a poem or doing something? Or?
Yeah.
Let me see. I was literally staring at the wall trying.
I was just marveling at Derisive has two personas. He's very well spoken and very highbrow here. Get him in a different room.
Right, and then
If Pussy comes in, I embrace the nihilism. Just give it his own meaning. That's so we might as well fuck shit up. It's I forgot. Edie, have I talked to you? I feel like I have about the movie Reality Bites.
Yeah.
There's one of I'm gonna like not get it exactly right, but I'll get it quote close. But hey, pull it.
Hey, now, pussy. You know, pussy.
We all know Pussy.
Yes.
You might know me through him then. Yeah.
Yes, that.
You probably see me in rooms with him. There you go. That's probably
Are you one of the secret tranny lovers?
Probably. I don't know. I've been on Clubhouse since day one. I've been here forever. I don't know what rooms I've been in and out of. I've actually had about 2 or 3 names. But yeah, I've known Bussy for a while. Yeah. I'm not hiding about who I hang out with or anything. I just don't. My pictures don't always.
Wow, there were no Jews before 1818. There were no Jews in Israel.
There's a bunch of angry white guys.
Go ahead, please. Listen.
So after that, they slowly started calling other people, other Jewish who has been convinced by the Zionist ideology for having the Jewish people a homeland. But this homeland already had people, okay?
Jewish people. It had Jewish people.
It had Jewish people from past, which was called old issue, okay?
Oh, we
Old issue.
We were here before you.
The old issue has nothing to do with the settlers who came in the base of Zionism mindset. Okay? The old issue have been forever over there. They've been living peaceful with Palestinians and they consider themselves Palestinians. Okay? But the new issue was the settlers who came and they started growing and calling more out
Excuse me, sir.
people on the base of idea that we want to give Jewish people a land.
I
So what
advocate
was
you
happening
having
in
Jewish
Benton?
people.
Huh?
Nothing called Jewish people. The people who was just created by the Zionists, they never were something called Jewish people.
Oh my God!
You're
Oh my God!
right. It's a little bit different.
What about the whole person from the Old Testament?
Oh, well,
What about King David?
Have something like this one.
Sephardi people, but there's nothing called Jewish people.
Do you know about Moses? Do you know about Moses?
Well, Moses was an Israelite, not a Jew.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference between a Jew and an Israelite.
What is the difference? Tell me the difference.
Well, I'll tell you the difference. If you consider that Moses was a Jew because of Yehuda, he's from the tribe of Levi, so he wasn't a Jew. Okay. Second thing, nothing in the five books of Moses. You call them anything. There's nothing in the five books of Moses. This guy who is a Jew, who's a tribe, that's one right here. I got guy. I'm looking. No, you're a guy. Yes, I know. You're a Polish guy. You're a Ukrainian guy.
Right, exactly. You're from like Lithuania or Poland or something.
Lithuania or fucking shit. You don't even Netanyahu's got a Lithuanian.
Ukraine or wherever you're from.
Don't bring me someone from
You
Lithuania.
know, 815,000 Jews were kicked. What about the Jews who were kicked out of Iran? The Jews kicked out of Syria. The Jews kicked out of. They were kicked out. What do you mean? There's synagogues in Syria. There's synagogues in Iran.
The synagogue
There's synagogues in Iran.
How about the synagogue
Even
in
the
Iran?
The Iranian regime says that we have Jews. You're saying they're not Jews?
Randy, the rabbi of the synagogue in Tehran said that he's for Iran.
Okay, but is he a Jew?
And the Zionists just bombed it.
According to this guy, he's not even a Jew. He says there are not Jewish people. Make up your mind.
Go to the Torah. Listen, go to the Torah and go to Genesis 10. Genesis 10, 1 through 5. It tells you, their own Torah tells them they are not Semites. They are Japhethites. They're from the Caucasus Mountains. They're converts. They converted to the religion. They're not the Israelite people. Their own Torah tells them that.
So why was Hitler killing all these Jews? What was going on with him? He went around to all these synagogues and rounded up people. What was talking about him? There was a big misunderstanding.
Why were the Turkish? Why did the Turks kill all the Armenians?
Because
I don't know why.
Because he
You seem to know everything. Tell us.
Because the Zionists want to sacrifice some Jews for the cause of Israel. That's why it's called the Holocaust, burning sacrifice. So kill or sacrifice some of your Jews, okay, the weaker brethren, for the cause of Israel. It's called the Holocaust sacrifice. It's not called a genocide. It's called a sacrifice.
Wow, you have a great imagination. This is science fiction.
So you have an Israel.
It's science fiction.
So let's go back to Iran.
Shall we go back to Iran? Do you want to talk about the 20 settlers who came to Palestine? We're all over the place in this
Yeah,
conversation.
I want to talk about Iran too. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go to Iran. Stop these goyish tricks, okay? We're not
No,
going.
stop your jihadist tricks. Stop your Islamist tricks, okay? Just don't blow up the room, okay? I know you're a suicide bomber. Don't do a suicide bombing in the room, okay?
No, listen, go back to Siberia and
go eat some shit there. Okay?
Yeah.
People
I think you're thinking of your mother. You're thinking of your mother, not me.
Yes, you kike. Yes. So
Yeah.
back again.
Stay classy.
The situation in Iran started from the Britain and the United States overthrown an elected prime minister, elected by an elected government, by elected parliament, at a time when the blacks were actually fighting for civil liberties in the United States. That's in the 50s. So the Iranian had a proper democracy. They put they put Mossadegh into power, and he started nationalizing the oil for the benefit of the Iranian people. But we have some Zionist thugs in the United States do not want these things to get the benefits to the Iranian and to the people, and this is becoming like another attack.
This was 80 years ago. Why don't you get into the present now, okay? We know what happened 80 years ago.
Moses. No,
Okay.
You went back to Moses.
Yeah, because you said there's no such thing as a Jewish people. You said there's no Jewish people.
Yes.
So I asked you about Moses.
Yes.
Okay, that's not. Yes.
Okay. Now.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
Mike Huckabee.
Yes.
Illegal entity called Israel.
Yes. I'll be like you
Stop
now.
being a class clown, man, Randy.
No, I'm being like him. I'm just being like him. Yes.
Stop being a class clown.
Yes.
I want to talk about what Zero was talking about, because Zero brought up something interesting that
What would you like to talk about?
that he was talking about how we can barely afford, the United States, and we're over here
That's not
spending.
true. We have the biggest budget in the world. We can afford anything.
But there were always homeless
No, we
people.
cannot,
There
Randy.
have always been homeless people. There's nothing new.
We're spending
cannot
$30
afford.
trillion
We cannot
a
afford.
year. We spend more
No,
than
we
anybody
cannot
on the
afford,
planet.
dude. We cannot afford.
You need to get a job,
We
bro.
have anything we want.
You need to get a job, okay? You're on welfare. Your family's on welfare.
I want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, you're retired. You never had a job, dude. You never had a job. Get real. That's what I said. Keep repeating what I said.
But thank you.
You're on welfare. You're on food stamps.
So
Disability.
Elmerma wants to hear a little bit more about
We're
what.
going back and forth, you and me. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We have we spend $30 trillion on America right now. We can afford anything we want on the planet. We spend everything we can on veterans, on the homeless, on the poor, on social safety nets, on healthcare. We spend billions and billions and billions. And if we want to spend more, we can spend more. It has nothing to do with our military budget.
Okay, and so I'll respond to that.
The military budget is entirely separate. By the way, the money that we just spent, we've already appropriated. It's already been given to the military. We didn't give them any new money since we started this war 6 weeks ago, just so you know.
Keep spending. Because
So
everything you're doing.
So I'll explain.
Let Bima talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. So the spending, I don't think that we could just keep spending anything that we want. I don't think
Nobody
so.
said that.
I
I said we
think-
can afford anything we want.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. By affordability, you're talking about you have to spend. So you have to. There's going to be. You're going to have to spend. You're going to have to create
No, we're
deficit.
already spending it. Well,
Right.
we love nothing to spend the money.
Bima, how do you feel about
So what I was going to say was that I think right now we're experiencing the Gini coefficient, right, which tells us like income inequality is where it was in 1890. So we have 1%, 1%,
We have a higher
Shut up.
1% of Americans hold as much wealth as the 90% of the bottom tier, and 10% of Americans. Hold on, wait, I'm not done. So no, and that's the problem, and I'll give you an example because we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
10% of Americans own 93% of all of the American stocks in the financial
But how is
household.
the average
So the
American
reason
doing?
that this is a problem is because of the Gini coefficient, right? As I was saying, right? So
Why is that a problem?
because productivity is increasing
Right.
and the wages aren't keeping up with it.
Stop commenting. Let me
Because
talk.
the wages aren't keeping up with that growth, okay, the productivity.
We're already
So right
getting
now we're about at a 93%
Okay,
33%.
why is that a problem?
So,
Why is
that compares today's wealth concentration with the gilt
Why is
age,
that a
right?
problem,
And so when we talk, well, because of the Gini
You know,
coefficient,
you
right?
just
That's
walk
saying,
in a why is the Gini coefficient
well,
a problem?
because it widens the gap
Why is that
of
a
who
problem?
owns the, well, I'll
If
give you
the
an
poorest
example.
people-
I'll give you an example. I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Poorest people
So,
are living at
when-
1,000
when-
times the
When
level
we
they
can't
were
balance,
in
when we can't balance the budget and we just
They're
keep
not.
printing,
Right.
when we
should
just
balance
keep
the budget.
printing, right, but when we just keep printing, okay,
We're not
then
keeping printing.
the inequality, the gap
Yeah.
of what people can afford is going to continue to
What
get
does that have
larger.
to do with
And
the
more
debt?
people,
We're not
affordability.
making money by the way we
Affordability.
do,
So
but
when you spend money, when you're printing money and you spend and you create and you're not balancing the budget, right? You're creating a deficit, and that deficit, this all connects to inflation. And then you have the affordability is almost, I mean, like we're struggling right now. We just had a man, and we were talking about this the other day. His name was Abdul. He just burned it. He's a warehouse worker because he makes $37,000 a year. He videoed this. He was hoping to get sympathy. He was hoping to get sympathy and empathy from Americans like Mangione got, right? And you had Mangione, who, you know, he's a murderer, right? who killed his CEO. He got 50% of American college students sympathize more with Mangione than with the victim, which is
I'm
insane.
against that, by the way.
I think I'm against it too. I'm against it too. I'm against it too. I don't think
This is the
I like
problem.
Chuck Mangione. He's my favorite Mangione.
This guy, listen to what he said. These were his comments, okay? These were those comments, and I'm reading this.
Feels so good. Remember that album?
This is a lesson true albums. He burnt down this warehouse, and then he said, listen, I just cost these motherfuckers billions, right? 1% is a fucking joke, and all you had to do was pay us enough to live. Pay us more of the value we bring, not corporate. Didn't see the shareholders picking up shift, okay? And so this is what he said. So basically, his point was, so he videoed it, and he said, if you're not going to pay us enough to fucking live or afford to live, this is his quote, that at least pay us enough not to do this. And he burnt down this warehouse, causing $500 million in damage.
And thousands of people were laid off. And thousands of people were laid off.
Listen to what the kids are telling you, man.
Burning down a warehouse is not the solution.
How about the people that are on this app bitching and moaning about the inconsistencies in the economics, but they're on the app day and night? Go get a fucking job.
I don't think that most people.
No, Bima, I'm sorry. I listen to it all the time on the app. It's amazing to me. Everyone's talking about the inequality and that they deserve these handouts, but they're on the app morning, noon, and night. Go work. Go work your ass off, and then you can have equality. Don't bitch about people having wealth. Bitching about people having wealth. No. We can
Just recently,
and has every right to say this. Don't want to fucking work, and they will bring it.
college listen to me. The college kids are graduating. Listen to me.
What are you graduating? Do you have a graduate degree? Did you go to postgraduate? Did you work your ass off in school? Do you have a good job? You wouldn't be complaining if you do.
I own 3 houses.
Then what are you complaining about?
Listen to me. I'm retired. I have 5 grandchildren, and I have 5 grandchildren. I'm retired. Listen to me. I'm retired. I have 5 children and 15 grandchildren. And right now I'm living in my house.
Just 5 grandchildren.
Right now I'm living in my house in Asia. I have a house.
Just
Listen,
right
I
there.
have a house in Fort Lauderdale. Listen, I have a house. Listen, I have a house in Fort Lauderdale. I have an apartment in Pompano Beach. And I have 9 acres. Pompano Beach.
I go to the sample house. Did you ever go to the sample facility?
I am worried that I need
You shop there?
You know, it's
Listen, the college kids who are graduating with degrees are not trying to get off. College kids who graduating with degrees are
Getting jobs if they work and they study. They're
not
getting
getting a
jobs.
job.
They're not working. Because they don't know how.
They're not finding a job.
Yeah, they can find a
College kids, you can find a job. Degrees are
You should join the army. You should join the army and learn some skills. That's what people always
Here's
love.
the shocker. I have 2 kids. They got jobs out of college. They got jobs out of high school. Shocking. Shocking. They all got jobs. My children. Sweetheart, you think that we don't exist, Yawa, or whatever the fuck your name is? So get a job and give us a job.
Working for the rabbis, going to
For the robbers? The robbers?
to pay usury.
What country is this from? What country? I love usury. By the way, we have no usury laws, right? Did you know that? I have no usury law in my state.
Meta today.
Yeah, we have no usury laws. You know that, Yawa?
Abby, today, Meta says that they're laying off 8,000 people.
Yeah, but you know what, Sarah? Kids got jobs. Because they went to college and they got degrees and they got jobs and they worked hard.
8,000 people today.
How many grandchildren do you have? You have 30 grandchildren now?
Everyone is laying off.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Laid off.
Yeah, the milkmen don't have jobs anymore. The environment changes.
Meta, these people
People who drive horse and buggies get laid off.
working Meta.
Okay, that's usually system.
Meta, that's
Now listen,
working
you
Meta.
know, when's the last time you heard of a Jewish suicide bomber? When was the last time you heard of a Jewish suicide bomber? Okay, how come they're all Muslims?
Netanyahu.
Oh, guess what?
He's not a suicide bomber.
The first terrorist bomb blast happened by Zionism. The first terrorist bomb blast in the Middle East happened by Irgun and Haganah in the
Yeah, but
Middle
it wasn't, and then all the rest happened by Muslims. All the rest
bomb
happened.
blast.
Okay, we
First
got
bomb
the
blast
first
happened
time.
by Haganah and
And
Irgun.
then since then, it's been Muslims. Okay, we got it.
Netanyahu
You
is
took
using
over that
the United
business.
States to do
You
his
took
fighting.
over that business.
He's
Say.
using the United States to do his fighting. Netanyahu is using the
Yeah,
United States.
he's a war hero. Unlike Trump, Netanyahu went to war himself. His brother died. He's a major war hero.
Soldiers because of Netanyahu.
You don't know that Netanyahu is a war hero. He certainly is involved in major operations. Major. You don't know anything about him.
Soldiers because of Netanyahu.
Israel is winning. Okay, Iran is sinking. No, it's not. You know, keep repeating yourself.
Yawa, don't work on your accent. It's gonna fucking work.
Yes, I know. Iran is trying. Iran is trying. Don't try to put a synagogue. Don't try to truck it to a synagogue if you're around
And what about the synagogue? What about the synagogue that you hit in Iran?
Yeah, it's a shame.
You
The
you
good news is
you have
most of the Jews left Iran. Most of the Jews left Iran. The small majority left. The small ones left.
And they are not attacking the United States. Talk about all the attacks of the United States.
Israel's population is growing.
Can we talk about what just happened in Michigan?
Israel's population is growing.
Yes,
Yawa, do
because
you have one of
all other countries, you have Chinese, you have
No, the Jewish population is growing.
and
It's true. So we got Shias in Iran. They're leaving Iran. Yes, it is, dude. Dude, you should be saying. Is the largest privately held
1,000
small
millionaires.
business lender.
1,000 millionaires left Israel.
Great, so there's 10,000 left.
That's not growing.
Oh my God, I can't buy an apartment there. They're so
You
expensive.
have no idea what's going on in Israel.
You feel like they're so
Have you seen
No,
Israel is going to grow by 2 million people. In the next 10 years, there'll be 10 million.
Dude, it's not.
People are leaving because the Arabs are driving Jews out of France. Arabs are driving Jews out of England.
and I can't buy
Arabs
an
are driving
apartment.
Jews out of Canada.
Randy, how expensive are those apartments in Tel Aviv? It's insane.
They're luxury apartments that are sold out.
They're sold out.
Listen, everyone, all Jews are leaving France and England because of the Arabs. They're ruining Paris. They're ruining London. And they're all coming to Israel. So thank you for that. At least thank you for ruining Germany. You guys have ruined Europe. Europe is lost. To leave the planet, you know? Yeah. To leave the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, and how are you going to do that, Yalla? How are you going to make people leave the
On
planet?
what?
What do you
On a donkey?
Hold on.
On a
Yalla,
donkey?
what do you intend to do?
You can't even.
What do you intend to do, Yalla, to people? What do you intend to do to them, Yalla?
There's not one Arab that's won the Nobel Prize for Science.
Yalla, how do you intend to make people
You don't
leave
know
the
what the word
planet?
is.
What are
You
you
don't
going
know
to do?
anything. They're going to blow their suicide bombers. That's their idea of technology, is to kill themselves.
To give you meaning. You guys nothing with us. The Torah that you're talking about, my grandparents, my my ancestry wrote it for you. You think yourself you're really
Really? So what happened? What went wrong? How come you're living in this shit now?
you don't know.
How come everybody knows that Arabs are ignorant
Your
today?
skin.
What happened?
Your skin in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm looking at the color of my skin. It's lovely.
Ukrainian.
Okay, but what happened? If you guys were so smart 1,000 years ago, I think what happened is like Sharia law really fucked you guys up. That's why you're anti-science now.
The problem
Everyone knows that.
You're cocky.
Even the Arab kings, they go to Israel for surgery. Any Arab will go to Israel for surgery. If you have cancer in the Middle East, you go to Israel for surgery.
Randy and Abby are posting in the chat videos and news reports.
Okay, you keep doing
Show
that.
you that
I won't click on
it
it.
shows you the modern day Exodus.
The Jewish population of Israel is growing.
Zero.
Watch the videos.
Watch my video.
I go to every 3 months and buy an
Abby,
apartment
bring me the
because
reports.
they're all
Bring me your facts.
Yeah.
Put your facts in the chat. I'm putting my facts in the chat.
We don't care about Al Jazeera. We don't care about Al Jazeera.
zero. I don't read Al Jazeera.
Why do you keep repeating yourself?
It's sold out.
Put your facts in the chat. I'm putting my facts in the chat.
You know what? Do you want to stop talking? I go there every 3 months.
Put your
It's
facts in
sold
the
out.
chat.
Yeah, we heard you. Put your facts in. Come on, come up with some new dialogue.
Did I see it with my
Come up
own
with
eyes?
some new dialogue, dude. You need some new
Facts
lines.
in the chat.
We can't get a
Why do you say that?
He's a clubhouse hero and a real world zero.
would love to buy the new Mandarin Oriental, but it's sold out. All the new developments are sold out. You can't get an apartment in Tel Aviv. All the high rises, they're beautiful. They're sold out. So I don't know what you're reading, but I'm there every 3 months and I see it.
He's reading from the Islamic Caliphate Ummah News, part of their racist discriminatory law, the Mohammedan law. He's a real world hero and a clubhouse zero. Oy vey, Rabbanu Shalom. I put a link in the chat to the Charter of Medina, known as the Mohammedan Constitution. If you're Jewish, you really got to read it because it's talking about you, and these Islam terrorists are nothing but Don Corleone, Godfather mafiosos. It's in-group, out-group, but they're so stupid that they're still living in the year 660. They're ignorant, they're racist, they're bigoted. Like you just heard from the previous speaker, he thinks without us, you guys would have nothing. These are the dumbest, lowest class pieces of trash in society. They should all be mass demigrated out of Europe, demigrated out of America. Kiss them all goodbye. Send them back to the fucking desert. Back to the fucking desert. Go suck a camel's dick. Hello?
The reason that the only thing that they're really is that working on moving together.
That's why people are protesting in Greece, Italy, Spain,
Exactly.
against the Jew. Right? That's why people.
All the bankrupt countries.
There's videos everywhere. As soon as they find out these people are from Israel, they start telling them, free Palestine, get the fuck out of my country.
Yeah, those are criminals.
On vacation.
Yeah, we have criminals here too.
Zero, do you plan on doing that too?
I
Do you
didn't
plan on going after
people.
Jews, Zero?
Is
that what you're doing, Zero?
Zero,
do you intend to do that?
Without the people.
And where are you going to do that, Zero? You're going to do that in Pompano Beach, Zero? Zero, you're going to do that in Pompano Beach? Are you, Zero? Zero, you're doing that in Pompano Beach?
Don't worry about one person.
Yeah, Zero, what are you doing in Pompano Beach to Jewish people? Why don't you tell us what you intend to do in Pompano Beach to Jewish people? Come on, Zero, what are you going to do? Tell us. Can't wait to let everyone know in Florida what you intend to do. Come on, Zero. Let's figure this one out. What are you going to do? You're going to go after them on Sample Road? What are you going to do, Zero? Tell me. What are you doing in Pompano against Jewish people?
Nobody gives a shit
No,
about
no, Zero. Zero, why don't you
Stop
tell
the
us? What are you
antiseptic
intend to do?
victim. Ma'am, stop
I'm
with the
not victim. I'm asking you what
Stop
you
with
intend
the
to do.
antiseptic victim shit. Nobody wants to hear
Zero,
your
what are you doing?
antiseptic.
What are you personally doing?
Antiseptic.
What are you doing,
Nobody
Zero?
wants to hear your antiseptic.
I'm not doing anything. I'm asking what you're
Nobody
doing,
wants to
Zero.
hear your antiseptic.
What are you going to do?
Nobody wants to hear your antiseptic.
Nobody wants.
He's a clubhouse Zero and a real world hero. Zero, go sell one of your houses. Zero made it big.
Congress, he loves to talk about the financial.
No, I'm not running for Congress anymore. I'm running for mayor.
Oh, he's running for mayor. Excuse me.
Mayor
Let's
what?
talk about the financial situation here in the United States.
Dima, are you going to do a room on the hospice and what's happening in California? Are you upset about that at all?
I
in California? Do you have any outrage about that?
I don't know about that. What is it?
Well, you're pretty good at researching stuff, so take a look at what they've uncovered and the fraud they've uncovered with hospice. I don't know if you've ever had a family member in hospice. I'm not talking. I'm talking about hospice.
I used to volunteer for a hospice.
You know what hospice is, right?
Yeah, of course I
Hospice is
do.
really important. So
Yeah.
take a look at what they just uncovered on these for-profit and non-for-profit in California. I mean, they just did massive exposure of it.
The thing instead of funding hospice is we should just fund capital punishment from now on. Let's rededicate ourselves to capital punishment.
I did want to talk about the financial situation in the United States because I know we were talking about it.
Well, that's part of the problem. The amount of government money that goes into things like the amount of government money that gets put into things like the amount of government money that gets wasted on fraud in the United States.
So I think it's really
try to talk over you.
because we're talking about
The government money that gets wasted in the United States, fraudulently taken by
Zionists are trying to talk over you.
right? And I don't think that, the anecdote of, kids going to college, it doesn't, it's irrespective, it doesn't matter. I respect, I'm happy that your kids are doing, I'm happy that they're making money, but that's not, kids aren't the denominator for 350 million people, right? So when we have full-time people,
290 million people, 60 million illegal alien invaders.
excuse me, they're taking home $37,000 a year, right? And rent is $2,000 a month, right? That is what this is the shit that we're looking at right now, okay? So we're missing the underlying issue and of what I had originally brought up, which is, we can't afford spending $2 billion a day in Iran when we have really big spending issues here. Right, Mark? What's happening with our society? What's the last time I brought up the Gini coefficient? Why is that important? Well, because as the gap increases and widens, right, there's gonna be unrest. The EMF. I was just looking at this report. Not the EMF.
There's gonna be unrest, you dummy. There's already unrest. Hello?
The
International Monetary Fund, right? It literally talks what is this? IMF.org, inequality, right? It's talking about what happens when when this gap widens and causes, circa Gilded Age era gap distribution, when 4,000 families help.
7 out of every 100,000 people in America are murdered every year. I call that a problem. Did you hear that gullet? That fatty little voice? God damn! 7 out of every 100,000 every month, every year get murdered? God damn!
You have to be an asshole. I know, and I hate over-modding people, Zero. I really, really do. It's like, I really, really hate it. That's why I mod other people, because I like them to do it, because I hate being that person. I want to believe that maybe, just maybe, 5, 10, 20 chances people are gonna come around. Oh, wow, I'm an adult. Wow, I don't have to overtalk somebody when somebody else is talking. Wow, we can have a civil discussion one at a time, right? I always have that hope for humanity. Unfortunately, that's not happening well here tonight. So anyway, I did reach my peak. So when last time this happened, when you have 4,000 families holding as much wealth as another 11.5 million families, all right, and they're living this particular lifestyle, when you have 10% of Americans holding 93% of all stocks in the United States, and I mean, this is going to be a working class type outrage, and it's just going to get violent, as we're seeing, right? Violence is going to happen if we don't balance our damn budget. This is what we have to do. This is the most important thing. I truly believe this. Bill, you talked about it the other day, and I think that right now, if anybody's voting, everybody should be making sure that they are making certain that they're voting for somebody who's going to balance the damn budget, right? Because we can't. People think we could just keep spending. It doesn't look like, exactly. It doesn't look like we can keep spending, right? Our Gini coefficient is as it was. Our wealth. This is in 2019. Who knows what it is now? Okay, that was the same as the Gilded Age. I'm telling you, and we're going to see more. People are just going to start thinking like this Korean guy. Let's just burn down the warehouse and F it, right? So this is. The fact is that it's stability across the nation, and we don't have that right now. We're not 80% of Americans aren't able to keep up with the inflation right now, and this is what we need to be focusing on home.
Yeah, I do real estate down here. Okay, for the last 20-something years, I've been selling real estate in Miami-Dade, Broward County,
Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach, Jupiter, all that stuff. Yeah, all the way up to West Palm Beach. I keep going. Okay, cool. But listen, I get to talk to everybody. The rich to the rich, the poor to the poor. Okay, and I remember before COVID, I used to help young people under 40 buy a house. Say about 2018, 2019, the interest rate on the loan was like 3.5%. You could put like $10,000 down, get a house, blah, blah, blah. That was fine. Today, forget it. The young kids today, all they're doing now is pulling up with themselves like 2 or 3 friends, and they're renting, 2-bedroom apartments for like $2,500 because they cannot buy a house like they were able to just 5 or 6 years ago. It's just not happening. So I understand exactly what you're saying. I talk to all these people, and even the rich are like, I got to sell my house. I got to drop the price, $100,000, $200,000 because nobody's buying. That's what's happening right now. The reality on the ground in Florida.
Here's Florida, Zero. You're completely right.
Stop the usury cycle money. It's fake money. These people, these rabbis are printing, give it to you as a money. Yes, we spent. Back again to the real money. What you earn is what you own. Okay, and people should be liberated and freed from this kosher I could say it like a usury. Demonic Baal system. And I
What's
think
usury? What's usury?
They deny others' police to obliterate offenders and hunt them down.
Define it.
It's not only a war against
Define the term.
America,
Define the term.
between America and Iran. It's actually a war between humanity and a rabbinical usury system.
What's usury? Define the term. Define it.
While United States printing $6, okay, and doing this cycle, we have to siphon it down. We have to real money. We don't want to have a disparity between
Define usury. Tell me how usury works. What states have usury laws in the United States?
Humanity thrives and lives.
Can you define the term?
Okay, America would be much more better without this usury rabbinical system.
So tell me define usury, Yahweh. You're talking about a term. What's the term mean? Bima, could you ask him to define it?
Right now, the interest rate on a loan is 6.9%.
What's usury? Can you
I want
define the term?
hear more about that, Zero. Hold on. Yahweh, could you finish it, then Zero? Then Zero.
So I think this is an opportunity for people who are seeking human liberty to dismantle the petrodollar scam, where people, even the Federal Reserve should be dismantled, and Americans should live under the sun without being captured by any banking system. And this thing should really start. This is a liberation of
We
humanity.
did not have a federal system. We didn't even have one. 100 years ago, we didn't even have one.
Hold on. Let's talk about this. I'd like to talk about this for a second. Yahweh, could you finish what you were saying?
The thing is that after the Bretton Woods issues and the United States imposing the dollar,
All talks goes back to Britain.
and you've got here some kind of disturbing for reason.
What word did you just call me? What did you just say? What did you just say? Yahweh, what word did you just say?
Kike, proud to say, freedom of speech.
Bima, you think that's a good thing to say?
No, I don't.
Thank you, babe.
Can we please be respectful?
No, it's okay. Pepe just in this
And
room
Pepe, yeah, it was.
threatened. He was
I
threatening my
wasn't in the room,
family.
but I just heard it, Bima.
Throw some missile on your family,
And I apologize about that intro. I apologize.
Put it into your ass. It says freedom of speech.
It's not freedom of speech. It has nothing to do with that. It's rude and it's obnoxious. And it's in,
Put your kike ass and shut up.
you know what? You don't speak to people that way.
I speak to my
not only calling me a bitch, he was threatening me. He was threatening me and my family that he gonna throw a bomb on my family.
Whatever you say sounds ignorant now.
Let's just start over.
Besides, you can't define the word usury. You don't even know what it is.
It would be easy if we don't interrupt each other. And then if we just, would you put the back out?
Finding that acceptable.
1 second. Could we just reset? I don't want to have responsibility. I don't like using the green bean. Please don't. I hate it. I really hate it. I want us to just act like adults and have good conversation. If we could just be respectful. Let's have a reset, okay? Fresh reset. Whoever now initiates aggression, you're the problem. So if you're going to speak disrespectful, we're going to point you out. And if you're going to cut somebody off, we're going to point you out. So let somebody finish what they're saying. They won't get irritated, and then we could respond without cutting people off. Remember, there's a fresh reset right now, okay? Go ahead, Yahweh. Please finish what you're saying.
Also, first of all, this is the opportunity and a chance for the world to realize that the petrodollar should be siphoned down, and that's actually making America printing paper money without even being backed up by anything.
You know, I have no respect for your shit room and your moderating skills.
So people are enslaved because of this.
Is a clown.
That should be dismantled, and the Iranians are doing a good job for that. I really praise them. I'm not Iranian, but I praise that what they're doing is not for themselves, but for all humanity to be liberated from this shackle. The thing is also, we should go back to the central bank's idea, which is basically you've got a central bank, whether it's a Federal Reserve or Bank of England, whatever, they are printing money and they are making people impoverished. Okay? And so poverty here is not because you're not working, it's because you have less money. And whatever you're going to do, the central bank is going to print you the money and control the supply of money and put inflation and control the inflation. What we have to do, free the people from the central banks, let the people control their wealth, they control their money, and there will be no poverty either. That's the only thing. And there will be no even wars. I'm telling you, there will be no war. Because all the war is because of that.
So I'd like to, so that's interesting. Thank you. I'd like to talk about that. Can we really, anybody that's listening to this that has a good idea that could maybe give us an idea, let's entertain this as a concept, as a possibility. If the petrodollar was to be null and void, if the USD, the US dollar, becomes no longer, right? We won't say no longer at all. We'll just say it doesn't become the world's reserve currency. Okay, what would happen to the rest of the world? Can anybody who knows the chain of what happens, right? What would actually have to happen for that to happen, right? I need somebody that knows this, right? So the dollar is going to. Wait, hold on, just 1 second. Hold on. So the dollar reserve. So
That's exactly what you're saying.
Right. So we're gonna say if we get rid of the petrodollar,
what's the point of it?
we're not gonna have right. So right. So but this is the point. The point is, no, I understand. But I want to understand right now, if we were to get rid of that right now, right? If we lost, if the world lost confidence in the U.S. dollar, does anybody have any idea, any good explanation of explaining to us what is going to happen, what that actually means? There's going to be some, what's going to happen with the treasury, right? There's going to have to be, the treasury's going to have to sell, right? What's going to happen with those yields? What's going to happen with the
Okay. Hate to say it, but there's some really stupid fucking people out there that just can't seem to stop thinking and talking. They will never understand Islam until they are forced into it. And then it's too late. They can't be saved. And it's the people today close to they're saying the same stuff from fun. It's that one. I hope you read the Medina Charter. It fully explains Muhammad law and its application towards Jews and non-believers. It's such a scam.
This is your moment to grab a free.
Yeah, I need a new heart, a new heart that doesn't know who you are, who you are. 'Cause this one's broken too, all because of what you did to me. Yeah, I need.
Excuse me, do you play guitar?
Yeah,
Are you an artist?
I am.
What's your artist name?
Obviously.
Can you solo?
Yeah.
The last person to freestyle on one of our songs got 30 million views. You think you can beat it?
Oh, you want me to do it right now?
Right now.
You keep me coming from the very first time. Feels like a sword coming out first kill. I need a new heart, a new heart that doesn't know who you are, who you are. 'Cause this one's black and it's blue and
Check this out.
Excuse me, can you rap?
No, but I can sing.
No way, are you an artist?
I need a new.
Academy shows these. And if you were trying to precision.
I'll tell you something. Most of the infrastructure inside of Iran, it belongs to the era of the Shah. They didn't put the brick on top of the brick during the past 47 years. Yeah. Can you believe that they sunk the oil platform? How you can sunk the oil platform? Unbelievable.
From the people, they kept it for themselves. They gave it to
Of course.
They spent it on terror. They're playing with their violent toys, killing the Yemenis, killing the Syrians. Look what they did in Syria. That's one of the greatest war crimes in history. What did they kill? 650,000 Sunni Arabs and Christians for what? They put that monster in power, Assad. And then look what they're doing with Hezbollah in Lebanon, killing all the Lebanese people. How dare they?
They're not giving up.
No, they're going to give up soon. You know what happens next? Now, here's what happens next. Either they surrender, or we wait for a while, and then we finish the job that we started. Well, do you see all those aircraft carriers we have there? They're not there to fool around. That's more military power than you guys have ever seen in one place. We can't even tell you what's on those aircraft carriers. Never mind Israel. Israel's just a little brother. America's the big brother.
Yeah.
You don't want what happens next. What happens
And
next?
one thing for the Americans is, guys, if you do want a peace in the Middle East, you need a stable Iran. That's a fact. The moment that Iran falls, all of the countries aside from Iran, they've fallen. Right? Between the 1979, we haven't had these things, these bullshit. And Iran falls, and you got to remember, in the next generation and the next generation, something happens to Iran, it kind of brings down all of the countries in the region, and it's going to create a massive problem for generations. It's not just a 10 years thing, it's not a 50 years, it's hundreds of the years. Now look at the money has gone wasted on these bombs and this and that, and protection, how prosperous the people could be in the region. At the Israel, think about it. The amount of the money that goes to the Iron Dome, it could be going to to the Israelis and the country to be in a better position, or the Americans, or the UAE, or the Saudis, or even the Libyans and the others. Iran fall, and then what's happened? All the other fall, like a domino. So we gotta be very, very careful about the Iran, and it is a gem there. We gotta protect the way that protecting Israel, we should protect Iran as well. That's a fact.
Well, we know millions of Iranians, even outside of Iran, that want to return back to their home country and help rebuild, help work there, live there, and make this country into a genuine, great, prosperous country. But you won't let us. Some of us, they will even take it down with them to rumbles before they give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine, that's cool. As long as you do something positive for them, I'm totally with you guys. But I think the plans.
There's always a but. There's always a but there.
Yeah, but I see the plans are not going well. My problem is that, okay, let's say
how do you know it's not going well? It is your narrative that you say that it's not going well. It's going well, actually.
In fact, I don't think they're going to want you back there. I hate to tell you this, Lee. I think you should think about staying where you are. They're not going to be very happy with you if you go back there. They know who you are. Unfortunately, that's the downside. So the good people of Iran come back, and the bad people go bye-bye. I'm sorry I have to say that.
And one of the reasons that they are resisting hard is that they don't have any place. Like at the time of the Shah, because the people, they migrated, they welcomed in the United States and the different countries. Where are these people going to go? They don't have any place other than
Indonesia.
I don't think so, mate. Even Indonesia is not going to accept them. Impossible. Maybe the millionaires or the billionaires, yes, possibly because of their money. But what about the rest? They don't have any other solution.
Armin, I never thought of that. You're absolutely right.
Dude. As long as my brain works and I do beneficial things, I can go anywhere I want in this world, okay? Because I can do any good job.
When you say beneficial, you think that the shot is something
all your life, okay?
Yeah.
Just explain things.
Do you think that the Ayatollah did anything good for Iran?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then what is your idea of what's good?
Yeah, that's what I've asked, and he couldn't answer. He said the protest in the street for the next 40, 50 years and then get killed in the streets. And that's his solution.
I like that idea.
Okay. My question is that if Europe is so badly defenseless, especially during
it's not defenseless. It's not defenseless. It's not defenseless, but you're making your point like a fact. Yeah, nobody said it's defenseless. It's your narrative. Nobody said it's defenseless.
Don't make up the story.
Dude, okay, they can defend themselves, but they're so weak right now, okay?
I didn't say that either.
Yeah.
You need to study more English, man. I didn't say any of that. I said that they don't have armies, and they don't have a strong military. That's what I said. And they need the United States to help defend them against Russia. Do you remember that now?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
If they don't have a strong army and they need the United States to help them defend against Russia, why we see peace stuff? Why we see a trend of European countries coming out of United States protection of
that hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened.
What? Ali, we have 100,000 American troops in Europe since the end of World War II. Did you not know that? Do you know do you know we have nuclear weapons? Okay, do you know how many army bases we have in Europe? So I don't know where you got the idea that they're no longer under the U.S. protection.
So abnormal. I just want to know, you answer me as a Native American. Okay, just answer.
Yes.
I don't know what the answer
So
is.
so you keep asking questions, but you're not listening to the answers, are you?
No, I'm listening.
Okay,
You said
changing the track as well.
So is Europe under our protection or not?
Yeah, they are under your protection.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay,
now.
No, I just questions. You know things. You're expert. Just answer me. Okay.
So I'll ask you one, and then you ask. Then you ask me one. I'll ask you one. You get one more, and then you're gonna answer my question. You agree?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So
You
what?
agree? And you're gonna tell the truth this time, right? You're not gonna lie.
Sure.
Okay, excellent. There we go.
So what's the problem with Canada having alliance with America that they told that the days that we are sending every 70 cents of $1 to America, it's finished. They said it's finished. What's the problem? What's the
Okay,
matter?
has it finished? Wait, hang on a second.
I don't understand this
So, Ali,
question.
you have a question for Canada now. I'll tell you, the Prime Minister is Mark Carney. You should send him an email.
Right now, we just want their hockey players. That's really all we're interested in.
I hear they're very good.
So truthfully, right now we're in the playoffs, and we're just interested in their hockey players, not their syrup, not their dollars, just the hockey players.
And it doesn't mean that the Canadian are against the American. And it is a part of Canada. It doesn't mean
I
that
want to say they're against. I want to say what changed that they say things like this? What changed? Just
Even Harper is not the prime minister. That's what changed.
Yeah, very fair point.
What changed is Stephen Harper is not their prime minister anymore. That's what changed.
And it doesn't mean necessarily they should say yes to they should say yes to everything United States says, and the United States should not say yes to everything else. For example, United Kingdom or Australia says. It's a relationship. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. With your great ally, you think that whatever the Americans say, Israelis say yes? No.
I have to amend it. I kind of want their Bhutan too. The hockey players and the Bhutan.
Yeah, that seems more than a big fan of the Bhutan.
Are you a fan of the Bhutan too?
Yeah. Yes, I guess. I like the Bhutan with everything on it.
Everything on the Bhutan?
Yeah, just load it up.
Why not? What?
Disaster.
Yeah, so Ali, yeah.
I'm a kitchen kind of guy.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they say, and it doesn't mean that they are against each other. It doesn't mean that. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. It depends on the country's situation and the circumstances.
Armin, but we did kick their ass in the, we did win the gold medal from them. I mean, we have to acknowledge that. And they haven't won a Stanley Cup in how long, Canada? Sorry, Rafi. But you know what? It's the way it's
And apparently they cheated curling, which is very
They do cheat at curling, right?
Yeah, I think they play against themselves. It's fine.
Yeah, so now it is Aloma, it is your time for your question.
And they booed the Star Spangled Banner, which is a whole issue for Americans.
That's not nice.
That was really horrible.
So what do you think the United States should be doing with regard to your beautiful country that wants to be free from the Islamic jihadist revolutionary genocide corps? You agree that the IRGC is genocidal, don't you?
Yeah, okay.
Is that a yes? You do agree?
Yeah, I agree, okay.
Okay, we should stop them from committing genocide, shouldn't we?
How do we stop them, Abby?
What?
Okay, till now, United States have done very well. But we don't want no more casualties inside Iraq because every Iranian life is precious for us. Okay?
Okay.
So you guys are going to surrender, right?
Precious for us. Be careful.
Okay, great.
You guys are going to surrender now, correct?
I am not part of it. You understand this shit, and let's continue the conversation, okay?
Wait. What's the topic? A little bit, you got a little hinky. Yeah, irritated, thank you. You got a little irritated. What happened?
Yeah, look, because you are acting so fucking foolish, and look at how old are you, but you're acting
Dude, that's very insulting. Why do you have to speak vulgar words?
Does he live in Iran? Where do you live?
No, he's hiding. He's one of those rich kids that stole the parents stole the money from the Iranian people.
Can you?
Get out of here and go spend money at, beach or something.
But he's Persian, yeah? Can you tell me, I really hope when the war is over we can start to buy Persian rugs again. I've been really hoping for that. Do you think you could get us a line on rug?
Yeah. I'm a little bit embarrassed about this question, okay? I have another one for you. I understand that you have flying carpets over there. Can you get me one of those?
Rafi, maybe that would hit. Maybe.
I'm just thinking, the funny part is I'm literally sitting here thinking, are they a little gas propeller doors or they're electric? They're going 26 with this shit.
Or maybe you do it by yourself instead of just hanging
We
around.
like it.
Well, you know what? There's no need for reverse engineering on a carpet as long as they can get to lay their hands on one of our handmade carpets. They're happy with that, so don't change the topic. I think there's no need for this.
The topic, change the topic. It's no problem. Yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the conversation because we really enjoyed it.
What else do they make there? What else other than carpets do they make there?
They have saffron. They have really good saffron.
Does that come from there?
Yes.
Well, there is an answer to that. We can make many things if we are allowed to.
I don't know. What's stopping you from looming carpets?
Because this fucking RJC, this jihadism, this Muslim and this radical Islam is limiting the potential of the people.
Of the carpets? Really? Is that why they're not making carpets?
Well, it's not about the carpets. It's not about the carpets. It's about the whole range of the other things that the Iranian people have a potential.
But what else do they make in Iran other than carpets?
Well, at the moment,
what do they know how to make? What do they know how to make?
Zero.
Oh, is the caviar decent there, Sam?
Would you prefer? Would you prefer?
Sam, what else? What other resources, Sam?
Okay. I'm gonna say. Would you prefer to give you Iranian carpet or saffron, or teach you Iranian mathematics? Which one do you like?
We want all three. We're Americans. Give it all. We hate everything.
Why not?
No, I never was a big mathematics person, so it's not appealing to me, truthfully.
Okay, I'm gonna give you carpets.
I'd rather the carpet than having to figure out algebra.
Wait, let me start with basic math. How much is one Ayatollah minus one Ayatollah?
It's 0 Trump, I guess.
Okay, I'm zero. Okay, I'm starting to learn your mathematics. Okay. And what happens when you decapitate the leadership of a country like 4 levels down? What happens?
I mean, it's fine. It's more fun.
That's good. It's good when the country's decapitated. That's a good thing.
Yeah, well, it's not like, sorry, not the country. There's a regime. This regime is directed to.
I'm sorry. The regime.
Mathematical formula. What about spending American taxpayers' money, $1 billion per day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, $1 billion per. I want to ask you a question. First of all, we don't know how they feel about it. First of all, we don't know how much we've spent. That's number one. And neither do you. Secondly, that money was allocated years and years and years ago, and we've already submitted a new budget to Congress for our military. So hang on. So what happens is when we hang on a second, Ali. So when we finish using the old stuff, which is still like 1,000 times better than anything that this IRGC has, the new money, the $1.7 trillion that we just decided to spend on our military, will create new stuff that's even better. We really like those B-2 stealth bombers and the F-35s, by the way. But Israel just wrote some new software that's going to make them even better.
And answer to Ali's question, if they are spending $1 billion, I say that even not $10 billion, they're gonna make $100 billion out of that $10 billion. So don't worry about them. They know how to make money. right? So they're not wasting their money, not a cent of it. They're gonna make out millions out of those money that they have wasted because of these fucking IRGC. So don't worry about that. Okay? So don't. Yeah. So the American taxpayer, they know where to spend their money, and it is well spent. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I also tell him they 50% of the oil. No matter what we hate, he goes, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, of course. Of course he does. Well, I mean, this is what happens when your brain is warped by the virus of hatred and totalitarianism. You don't really have any original thoughts. You haven't heard any original thoughts, Ali. What is that? I was trying to say that everything happening is irrational. Is what? Or may irrational force. All of us.
He's in a carpet factory probably right now.
Oh, I wonder if he's flying around. Yeah, I'm listening to you guys. Just go on. Yeah, just go on and say scientific things. I'm listening. Well, what we want was to hear you have the original thought. Probably the therapist. What? Okay. You heard my original thoughts. You go on. I'm just. No, I haven't heard your original thoughts. I'm fine. I'm listening again. Go on. I'm on your side. Go on. So, see, this is what they said about the IRGC, that they were tricky liars. And Ali, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in you, Ali, because I was hoping you would act like a human being, not a tricky liar. Why are they such tricky liars? Armin, can you explain it to me? Because this is what people said about them. That's not for us.
Ali, can you tell me about the new Ayatollah? Is he gay?
I heard he's gay. He's gay. LGBTQ.
That's the one that I was trying to share. It's a example of what
is he in the
happened. Because
hospital
he,
still?
the last
Is he
time
walking
before the
around?
fake
Is he
one
playing
replaced
tennis?
them,
Pickleball?
what he
What's he
did
up?
was a show with David Letterman, the cosmic seed. You know what I'm saying? It's like this type of like thermoplasmic water, that's alive. You know what I'm saying? And essentially what we do is that we drop, literally think of it as like a drop of water. We drop a water.
Go on. What are you glad about, right? No, Ali, I'm asking you. The question is clear. Ali, don't worry. The IRGC isn't in here. Ali, you're glad that the Ayatollah Khamenei is dead, aren't you? Dude, just tell me the American dream. Tell me the American dream. No, Ali, I'm asking yes or no. Wait, you're glad that the Ayatollah Khamenei is dead, correct, Ali? He is dead. You're glad, right? No, talk about yourself. Tell me that. No, you said we can. We said we can ask you questions. Are you very glad, Ali, that the Ayatollah Khamenei is dead? Yeah, 90% here. That's not Ali. Ali, you got very quiet. What happened? You were very talkative a minute ago. Are you worried that somebody will hear you say that?
You need to be careful down there. You were some shit.
Come on. So I answered the question. I understand. Just answer the question. You're very glad that the Ayatollah Khamenei is dead, correct? Ali? So if you're silent, we will take that as a yes. And if you stay in the room, we're going to take that as a yes. Just for the record. Just in case anybody is listening. I'm sure nobody is. Yeah, she says no, he's not. He's a sympathizer. For sure. And that's fine. See, I'm no one. That's fine. He can be the IRGC. He can be IRGC as long as he admits that, right? But he's lying. He said, no, I'm not. But you know what? This is because of that. This is because of that. You are me. That's fine. I think brave enough. The Americans, what they say, the freedom of speech. You have a right to express yourself, which is completely in contradiction with what we have experienced with the IRGC back in Iran. No, be brave enough. That is fine. You can have that idea. That's fine. But you need to tell that. You tell it.
Man up and just say it.
Yeah, I've been brave enough, and I talked to guys. I respectfully disagree with you.
first and illuminate them. It's not today. Just say about the plans. Whatever.
Your phone is dying. Okay. Thank you for celebrating the death of the Ayatollah Khamenei with us in this room. I'm sure your parents will be very proud of you. Am I right?
I think you guys ran him away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you know Farsi?
A little bit.
No Farsi. Nice. Enough to burn you. Enough to burn you.
No, I'm not burning.
I'm burning right now. Yeah. So anyway, guys, no point to talk to these people. They're gonna say the same thing and asking the questions and around and around and around and around. So, we in Persian, probably in English, you do have the same words that you say that you can wake up someone. Someone is asleep, but you cannot wake up someone that pretends sleeping. He's one of them. So you can never.
Very clever.
So it's not going to happen. Do not waste your time. And thank you very much for all of you guys, with all of the attention. You're supporting us, you're helping us. It doesn't matter, it's because your interest aligns with us or not. But we know for a fact that the safe and prosperous Iran would benefit all the world, specifically Americans, Israelis, and all of the countries in the region.
100%, Armin. Very well said. Very well.
Companies from England, at the moment they are on top companies in the world. The capitalism created the giant company in US that they provide job, productivity, innovation, everything that you can imagine is in US created.
No,
and
it's not in
innovated.
the U.S. It was invented. It was invented in the U.S. But listen, let me explain why it is that we're getting everything from China today. Okay, why we're getting everything, our TVs,
Good example.
because America, Nike shoes, Nike, everything. But dude, it was
China,
invented in America. It's not being produced in America. This is the reason why.
You're forgetting Rolls Royce was produced in England. Rolls Royce was
Considering how much, what is the turnover of the money of this company?
Like one of the biggest
Turnover of what are the turnover of their money? Are they as big as Apple? Are they as big as Tesla? Are they big as Apple?
What do you mean?
No, beautiful. And you can name it Rolex, for example. It's beautiful. Yeah, Rolex is beautiful, but you cannot compare the turnover of them with the Apple. You cannot. Man. The thing is that
where's the Apple? Exactly. Do. You hit the point.
when you access to your life,
The Apple phone made. No, stop. Yes, no, let me get it.
no.
Where is the Apple phone made? Where is it sold?
It doesn't matter where it is
You get
made.
the point.
Where it is made.
It does matter.
No,
Where is
it doesn't matter.
the phone made?
It
Americans are not making
doesn't matter. It's American company.
Yes, it is.
No, it is American company.
Americans are not getting the job.
No, the thing is that probably you are not looking for the job, man. Yeah.
This is the problem, okay? This is capitalism. Let me explain capitalism real quick, okay? Here's what it is. The people said, look, we can't. Listen, in America they have unions. We can't keep fighting the unions, and everybody wants a good pay. We're not going to make money. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go to China and we'll teach the Chinese how to make these phones. Okay, they'll have people working on their production line at $1 an hour.
Okay.
So that way, then they'll bring
You
us
finish.
phones,
You
sell them in
finish.
America, and we'll make all this money.
You finish.
This is
You
heading.
finish.
No, okay, yeah, let him finish, because I wanna hear I wanna hear the argument.
Yeah, this is capitalism. This is capitalism. They don't give a fuck about Americans.
Okay.
Americans don't give a fuck about Americans. All they want is money. So what they did was they take the Apple phone and they taught everybody and they give all the technology to China and they show them how to do it. And then China just basically delivers the phones to us and then they sell it to us at $900.
Okay. I explained to you. In England,
I don't understand how that's a problem though.
no. Bima, the thing is that in England,
To make the phones, we don't have
zero. Give me a minute. Okay. Bima, the problem is that in England, even they don't create such a thing. They don't have Apple. There is zero innovation. Zero innovation.
In the
Zero
United
innovation.
most of the companies in the United Kingdom are the so-called small to medium companies. These small to medium corporations are suffering.
What do you mean? You guys have beautiful headquarters.
So we go to the
UK.
In the UK, I say you got capitalism.
Beautiful.
Capitalism. Beautiful. Yeah, just like the Caribbean ladies, and just like the Israeli ladies. We're not talking about beauties here. Okay, allow me to. I know you want to stop. I know your kike wants me not to speak. Okay, stop this kike. Excuse me, kike. Excuse me, kike. So basically, I want him to stop whatever I'm in the market. This guy is stopping me from talking. I don't think so. Anyway, the things about capitalism.
Islam is a scam incompatible with a world that separates church and state. Muhammad was a scam artist, fraud, a mafia lord.
Corporation hands to take the market and destroying
The
the
blood
small
money.
and medium companies. This is called takeover.
That's how capitalism works.
That is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing right now. Yeah, that's why the economies of countries.
I'm confused.
Let's stay confused, but let me finish. Stay confused. Be quiet. So when we got capitalism giving no chance for a small medium company to thrive, which is actually the 60% of the
blood money that Palestinians receive is derived from Muhammad laws instituted in the Medina Constitution. Islam is a scam incompatible with
Yeah,
the
we
world
do
that
want to
separates
because
church and
we
state.
all want
Muhammad
to
was
speak
a
and I
scam
want to hear
artist,
his
fraud,
too.
a mafia lord. The blood money that Palestinians receive is derived from Muhammad laws instituted
thrives
in
on taking over. They're not innovate, don't create. They take over the market. And the market is becoming the control of those few multinational conglomerates. Why is this a problem? That means you're going to have a monopoly on the market. And then you're going to have multinational conglomerates say, look, we're going to keep for cost. So they're going to shift their labors and outsourcing to countries like India, like China. And that's why you got a lot of homeless people, impoverished people who used to have their own business. So this is why America is becoming a working class, homeless nation. That's why you got people losing their jobs because they want the main focus is to work for a multinational conglomerate. They used to have their own business because they can't compete because of this capitalist system. They actually gives priority to multinational conglomerates.
They go into weird things of like politically like grifting. Once they become like financially homeless, they try to like grift into like politics. They try to decide one side or the other. And like now you're seeing in America, now you're seeing like this new term coming to fruition, like politically homeless. They're not Democrats. They're not right or left. They're like politically homeless because they're just grifting.
So I don't see the problem.
You mean drift. You mean drift. Like with a D, not with a G. You're not grifting.
I mean both.
You don't grift.
So I gotta say this. I think we're confusing capitalism
with the other aspects of what the United States is. The United States is a mixed economy, which means it has socialist aspects as well as capitalist aspects, right? And so capitalism, the free market.
There's three things that rule America.
No, but that's the thing. Like we're in.
So hold on, hold on. I want everybody to speak, but let me just end real quick.
You feel me? Like we come here from Cuba, and it's like it's not capitalism, but it's like, damn, we're trying to escape communism, and like Cubans are the biggest in Florida. Not trying to take the stage, but I'm like, when you say that, I'm like, that's what America is. Like that's the beauty of it. Come here, escape, create.
I don't see much beauty.
So I
see beauty in the fact we're all from Europe.
So the
Latin America, fucking Southeast Asia.
Come on, bro.
Alright, dale.
No mame, way.
Alright, baseline.
So my argument is that what we're identifying is not like having big corporations chase it. No, that's the system. That is the social. That's the government-backed favoritism. That is what the government uses, using subsidies, using regulations, using tax. Favors, bailouts, political lobbying. You have the licensing barriers, and most importantly, which I'm very outspoken about this, is the patent system, right? You have a patent system, which literally the entire intent of the patent system is to stop competition.
Nope.
It's to.
Oh my God! I'm so glad you brought that up.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but
so my point is that, and I'll land here. You know, I'm sorry, I know I'm long-winded, but the point is that no, I disagree. I think that capitalism is what we need. I think when we see, because under capitalism, you're not forced to buy a product, you're not forced to work for it or sell to it or to obey it under. That's my opinion. I'm talking like explicit coercion, right? Under capitalism.
This is the problem with Americans. You're not understanding what it is. And also, you mentioned bailout.
So then let's define that. Then let's get clear. Let's be linguistically decisive and define socialism and capitalism.
Okay. Let me just address one thing that you mentioned. You put bailout under capitalism. No, you have to pick that up and put that under socialism.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was pointing to, because that is not capitalistic. That's the bad thing that I'm talking about. That's the socialist aspect. The subsidies, the regulations, the bailouts, all of that is the socialist aspect, not capitalism. So when I was specifically talking about competition, it's
I mean this in the nicest way, but you have to flip.
Okay,
that's not socialistic.
Okay,
that's
capitalistic. Okay,
flipped.
All right, we're gonna have to define that. Then before we go forward, let's define explicitly both socialism and capitalism. Who would like to give us their definition of socialism?
Yeah, sure. When I'm given time, I would love to do that.
Okay, I would love baseline. It is all you, but also you have to manage it. Okay, go on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear me? Breaker,
yeah,
whatnot?
I can hear you. So, like, the definition of socialism, it's an economic and political system based on public and collective ownership of the means of production. And I can see that being triggered by like the bourgeoisie, like we must seize the means of production. I get that, I understand that. But it's the distribution of goods. It advocates for reducing wealth inequality. It's all about reducing inequality through shared control, often being like you have government intervention, whether it be like taxes, taxing the rich, things like that, to provide services for healthcare and education. I mean, we look at every other country on the planet Earth. Why are 3/4 of our you work a job, correct? Like, why are 3/4 of our job and our taxes going to the military? Prosecution. When those
He's not gonna get that man today.
On like affordable health care,
The prosecution.
Free education, or roads being paved, or affordable like buses bringing your children to school, things like that. And that like the news and the media teaches you that these things are like inachievable, but in reality, like every other fucking country on the planet Earth, that's always different. What if you could call, break their leg and go to the doctor and pay 50 fucking pesos or bucks or whatever the
that next year
Tags were breaking news in River North, a robbery at a popular 24-hour diner. Police say Grill 24 in Chicago and Normal Traffic.
Which is $8.5 million fucking dollars. Like, you're telling me that that's more important?
And it can't even hit shit.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, you're telling me that we have school shootings happening every 3 fucking days? We have rape and murder, and we haven't even touched the fucking Epstein files, but yet we're giving millions and millions and billions of fucking dollars to Israel? Oh, we can't afford free healthcare. We don't have enough money for that shit. We don't have enough money for that. We have enough money. Every fucking politician should go fucking stroke their dick and flick their fucking cunt to go to a fucking golf course. Get the fuck up out of here, bro. Burn the motherfucker down, bro. Burn the motherfucker down.
Someone who won like president at your college.
Drag him the fuck out. Burn that, light that motherfucker on fire. Drag him out. Fucking Gaddafi that shit. Shove a fucking screwdriver up his asshole. Burn that motherfucker down. We need to start the fuck over. Because this shit ain't fucking working.
So I get that. So the socialism, you define socialism, right? But I'm still confused as to why you think that the regulations.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'll give you a simple explanation.
Socialism.
It's three things. It's simple.
I think it's fog and
You have technology. No, hear me out. You have technology. You have shut the fuck up for a second. You have technology and marketplace in the government. You have a technology that increasingly replaces the warmth of human contact with efficiency of coal machines. You have a marketplace that convinces you that your only importance is the machines that you affect. And you have a government, by its bigness, convinces you that you are too small to affect change. But just like all those three things, the very platform, the very fucking platform, the sturdiness of the fucking platform that all these things stand upon can be humanly changed and can be humanly conceived. The very next step that you need to take are the steps that shall lead to your human, social, physical, and sociological fucking liberation.
Or do you just take a crap?
Craps. The game.
Yes, you know to shoot craps?
Just let me search about it. Maybe I know.
You should search it. It's the gas line, no line. Google snake eyes. The one with snake eyes.
One beer in a hockey game.
Do you know how to play chess?
I've had a couple of beers at a hockey game.
I don't play chess. I play blackjack.
Boy, you don't have enough.
So I have 7 golden discs all through my neck and back. We got to look at my MRI before I had the injections, after the injections, and I no longer had a bulging disc. Within 1 month, I had those symptoms. I had full range of motion back, no nerve pain. So I had 7 bulging discs all through my neck and back.
Do you know how to pass boardwalk in front place? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to build hotels on professional monopoly. Professional monopoly player. I play hockey. I'm a hockey player.
You're a hockey player. Do you also
Yes, I'm a hockey player. I play hockey.
Do you also play tennis? I can teach you many things, Abby, if you come to Iran. I can teach you
And Nova, just in Costa Rica, because there's But I'll tell you what, Ollie, you come to the Emirates and lose all your money. We'll host it. What's the money called in Iran? What's the What's that worth to the dollar right now, the real?
worthless. So low, but the oil and benzene is much lower.
They have to make it.
Oh, great. So you can go to nowhere with money.
Wait, so what's the exchange rate?
I don't know what's the exchange rate, but Iran is having a good life.
0 to infinite. The exchange rate.
Your assistant lacrosse coach at Hinsdale Central High School is facing several charges, including
You called your opponent this fat Jew. So he's not from Israel, but you called a guy in Florida this fat Jew. How is that not anti-Semitic?
Well, he's a Jewish supremacist, and he puts Israel before America, and I think that, he should be tried for treason.
This fat Jew is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
What is the Fetico right now? I'm playing lovely. How can I play with you?
Ollie, how do you think the team is going to do in the World Cup, the Iranian team? Should we bet on it?
Dan is a toxic agreement to shoot his ex account.
Yeah, how do you think they're going to do?
Yeah, to lose, yeah. Just use it to lose, yeah.
Didn't Trump say that he wants them to bring in Italy now instead of Iran?
Yeah, I hope he does this. Because we are not really interested to know.
It's okay, the Italians are probably better looking at it.
You know that if they come to the United States, it's going to be a very great consequence to them. I know for a fact. What would be the Iranian reaction if they come to the United States?
I'll
see. Stop you right there. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. Okay, good.
And the question is that we as a Iranian, we are opposing the regime. What do you think, as a friend, what we should do that we haven't done? That you think that, hey, you guys, Iranian, this is your country, but you should have done this. It's great to hear from you guys because you're the outsiders to another country and you're contributing to this war and you do have some stakes here. What we should do?
This conversation, yeah. What we should do? You say, come on, your people say what we should do. How we should bring democracy.
No. That's not my question. Don't change it. I see that what we haven't done that we could do. Right? So don't change the narrative from a question that, America tell us now what to do. No, it's not. It's just as advice, as a friend. What do you think that?
Yeah, what do you think we should do? Yeah, please. I'm also curious about it.
No, not the Americans, Iranian. Like you're looking from outside. You say, hey, Iranian, you're Iranian.
government, I think it would be better to do this A, B, C, D. You know?
Oh, okay. Let me.
Not you, Ali. You're Iranian. I asked the American prince, not you.
Okay, American. Okay, I'm curious about what Americans gonna say. Yeah, come on.
The normal, maybe you.
Sorry, I'm like multitasking times 12. What's the question?
So the question is that because you know that we Iranian, we are opposing the regime, we are against the regime, right? We are one of many things that, and you're from the outside perspective, like when you because you're American, obviously. What do you think that we can do better? You know, it's always good to talk, yeah, but to help it out,
Because you are going to go through a bit of a challenge, and that challenge will be to take your freedom back. And Israel and the United States will help you, but we can't do it for you. And we don't want, and I'm terrified that even one single and the left, it's got to end. And we have an unusual president, Donald Trump, who, unlike all the previous presidents, he realized that he is the man of destiny who has to bring this regime to an end. And thank God for him. And now you guys are going to be able to do your part. So get enough rest, get enough food, and get yourself organized because it's going to be your turn soon to take the country back.
Sure, I agree with you, but let's say you're Iranian, right? What you would do as an Iranian in this situation? And just brainstorming.
Well, I don't know anything about what's going on over there, but if you ask yourself that question, you are one of the most brilliant and gifted peoples in human history. I'm not kidding around about that. I'm completely serious. I know about this. I know about this for years and years. There's some Americans who have studied this, and we know what amazing culture you have, what amazing people, what talent, what art, what cinema. I'm not kidding around. What food. You have this magnificent culture, and now what you have to do is take your freedom. I don't know how you're going to do it because you know your country, you know your
better than anyone.
Yes. Yeah. All we can do is support you because we're not arrogant like some people.
Of course.
And we just want to help you. It's in our interest, yes, as you said before, of course it's in our interest. Because you guys, the IRGC regime was growing close to our enemy, China. And part of this is we're showing our
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're showing them this is how we roll, baby. So you're going to think twice before you take over Taiwan and the Straits of Taiwan. Don't think of the Strait of Hormuz. Think of the Strait of Taiwan. It ain't going to happen because our military might is greater than that of China. And we have to use it that way. And then, you know what? When China sees that, they're going to want to be partners with us. They're not going to want to fight us. And we're going to have a good relationship after that.
Because the other way around. Because the other way around is going to be catastrophic for the world. It's going to be catastrophic because if for some reason, hopefully never happens, the war thing doesn't work the way that the American planned, then China would have the audacity to say that, hey, they couldn't get the Hormuz back. How are they going to get the Taiwan back, right? They're going to say that because China is not comparable to Iran. They are a massive power. That's a fact. We cannot ignore it. But it's going to be a massive disaster for the world order, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But and for the Iranian compatriots, what I can see that at this day we can do is just to get more organized. Of course, we are united over the Reza Pahlavi, and it doesn't mean that we are waiting for just the Americans and the Israelis to do the job for us, as you say. It's that sometimes that we need to, if we cannot take the gun, educate ourselves, inform the other people how to, for example, how to do the first aid at the time of the uprising, because we know that for a fact they're going to come out and it's going to be casualties. At least you can minimize the casualties by learning the first aid and buying some of these tourniquets and this and that and put it at home for the day. You know, that's happening. It's one of the things that you can do.
Very practical, make a lot of sense.
And the second thing is that at the time of this situation happens, what should be our reaction? Should we open our doors? Should we disconnect our security cameras in our building because our AGC later on going to come down and check all of this security footage? These could be learned and inform the people inside of Iran because we do have the satellite channels and still the people of Iran have access to them. This is the second thing that could be done. And the third thing is we need to have
this stuff, okay, we got his idea. His idea aligns with my idea. Iranian people should
when
do
we
that.
tell you that, when we tell you to speak, you say nothing. And then when somebody else is speaking, you open your mouth. What's the problem? The guy is talking. Just listen. Take out your little stubby pencil and write down what he says. This is important stuff.
Down your idea.
Sorry. I apologize for the arrogance and rudeness of my guest.
It's all right. So we're not used to that. These are the things that we cannot just sit down as an Iranian. Yes, I know that some of us. It is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not going to be 1 day, 2 days, 2 months. We don't know. Hopefully, it finishes soon. But we need to have a plan for the future, which we have with the lesson learned. We need to know these things in advance. We need to organize. Yes, we don't have armed groups, unfortunately. Right? But we do have some of the things that we can do, which we haven't done it before, such as the education, such as we do have a lot of entrepreneurs sitting down together, creating an app, and that we can, if we don't have internet, at least through the network of the Bluetooth, which everybody has a cell phone at the moment in Iran, so they getting connected and stay connected together, right? And create a piece of a technology that we can, taking some SIM cards that works via satellites and during the emergency. So they cannot crack down on the people. These things, in my opinion, I'm not the expert matter, just out of the blue comes to my mind. And I think that Iranian people.
I told you, you know what to do. You know better than much smarter.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
Thank you.
Elaborate all the details. Each one says his or her idea. You don't talk to each one this much after that because we want to gather the ideas from the group.
Look at that.
Just let the people talk.
Oh, I don't know why you're reminding me of the R&D, the regime propaganda agent. This pops up on the Western media. Yeah, exactly the same accent, exactly the same English, the word, everything's the same.
You're talking 99%. Okay, just let them talk. Come on. And Elno's plan for Iran's liberation is exactly my plan. It should be done by the hand of Iranians. Okay, next.
No, it's not. El-Nom has nothing in common with Iranians. Nothing. Sorry to say that if you listen to
the Iranian people should take their freedom back.
The way that he's twisting El-Nom. He's twisting your words.
Take me out, Ellie. What did I get wrong? Take me out, please. I want to learn from you.
No, Norma, you have said all the right things. I agree with you, man. Iranians should do it by themselves. I totally agree with you, man. Honestly. Thank you.
I didn't twist it. I got it right.
But maybe in 10 years is that.
Well, I think it's going to be maybe. It'll be 10 weeks. Maybe it'll be 10 weeks. I don't know.
The way that Norma, the way that he is interpreting your word is that, hey, leave the Iran alone. We can fix it ourselves. Do not attack us. Do not bomb us. Americans should leave. The way that he's interpreting your words is this way. I know that. To the bone. Yeah, I know. It's not what the Norma believes, no. Norma believes that the Americans should be there and they should bomb the shit out of you guys and the Iranian people. So create opportunity for the Iranian people to use this opportunity and take the control of their own country. That's very different from your narrative, Ali.
Would you keep talking?
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. I know you it's better than yourself. It's not going to work.
Over the next one.
Ali, what is your opinion?
Who is asking?
My name's Ariana.
Oh, Ariana, thank you for asking my position.
Is this going thinking in
Yes,
there?
I'm too. Yeah, that's my. Oh,
Hi again.
hello.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I came in the room. I seen you all, Abby, everyone else listening.
I didn't know it was you. It's good to
I
see you.
know. I'm back. I was trying to move to the Middle East. I was trying to move to Dubai, and then everything got bombed. And I was planning to move there, so not everything.
It's okay again.
I've been trying to move there, but anyways, yeah. Well, I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Ariana, before stating my own opinion about the issue, I really recommend you to see Tehran, to see Tel Aviv, to see Lebanon. They are really beautiful, beautiful, rich culture places. To see Istanbul, beautiful places, you know? Enjoy Middle East. Yeah, and my opinion about the liberation of Iranians. Is that
There's one little problem. I'm just saying, but it's a great idea. Great fucking idea.
No, just make sure you're not in the GC places.
Yeah. Just after war, we are Iranian. You know, we are so hospitable.
It's cute that you keep trying to send people to Iran. It's very cute.
Yeah, we have saffron with music. We have everything. We have really good food, full of proteins and vitamins.
Yeah, if you let them come in.
Let them come in. I for sure let them come in. I can even send you videos that Americans also come to Iran before this war. But my opinion about
And keep them hostage in the prison and for money.
I'm not a Arab.
No, you didn't take hostages 444 Americans.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think somebody's trying to reach us from Iran. Either BK, are you from Iran? Because your service sucks. Mikhail, you're with us? You keep on miking. Are you trying to send me Morse codes? Okay, I'm gonna wake you up. Sorry about that, guys. You sound like it. Continue.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate your help and support. I gotta go. It was a great conversation. And God bless Iran and God bless America and American troops. Cheers. Javid Shah. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Okay.